What's up, guys? Alright, we are live. Hang on a second while I share this daggone thing. Just a minute while I post my shareable link. I got a few to do. But we can do what we need to do until I get that done, because I want to get some people in here, because I think this is a very important topic. And we may not have all the facts, obviously. Alright, we got Rookie. We got Lisa. We got Chris B. How y'all doing today? Just a moment while I continue sharing. Who else? That's it. Alright, let's see. Let me pop this out real quick. I meant to do that. Pop out. So we can see the motherfucking chat. And I'm going, just give me a second. I'm preparing, guys. You know, we trying, right? Let me get this thing adjusted. Because we don't really need to see a picture of, like, the quarantine thing, right? There we go. You have questions. Well, everybody has questions, my friend. So, let's see, we got 2 watching. Really? Only 2? So what I want to do today is, not only do I want to get everybody engaged in this, but I do have some thoughts about this whole thing, honestly. And we're going to talk about that right after this.
Because I am hard, you will not like me. But the more you hate me, the more you will learn. I am hard, but I am fair.
Okay, so do you think we will have to self-quarantine for 14 days? Not yet, Lisa. I'm sorry. I've been kind of busy. I do believe that that is coming. So what I want to do is, I do want to put on my gig here, because today I'm going to do something I have never done before. And that is going to be a call-in. All right? So there's the number, right? And okay, make sure I got everything here. So we can go ahead and bring people in on the phone. Now, I'm going to say this. If you come on here acting dumb, or we're deviating from the subject, because this is a very serious subject, I will hang up on you. So you can call in if you want to, and we can go ahead and talk about it. But we definitely need to keep this on topic, and we need to not call in spam or anything like that, okay? So the lines are open. This is the first time I've tried this. So we'll see if we can get a caller. Listen, I've got a really bad feeling about this, and I really believe that what we're going to be looking at is a quarantine for sure. Everything's shutting down. Broadway, sports events, airlines, cruise lines, everything. Why on earth would they do that and subject themselves to millions of dollars or billions of dollars of lost revenue for something very silly like, this? So I really do believe that there is something bigger coming our way. I really do believe that this is, this is part of Agenda 21. And when I say part of Agenda 21, what I mean is there has to be, number one, population control. There has to be a control over the society, and the only way to do that is to knock people out, right? So this would be a very innocent way to do that without the government's, getting accused of any wrongdoing. I can't confirm or deny that, but there's been a lot of prophecies, if you will, about a flu-like virus in 2020 coming around, dying off, and then returning in 2030. So I don't know. It does seem like a very plausible plan. It does seem like there is a possibility that we don't know what's going to happen. By them shutting everything down, and then the federal government slashed banking rates to nearly zero, right? Nearly zero. Why? Right? That's also on savings account. That's also on loans. That is a definite sign of an economical crash. I think everyone is, I'm not saying we need to be paranoid about it. What I'm saying is we need to be cautious. We need to be watchful. We need to be paying attention to what is going on with everything, right? Stop buying all the toilet paper. Yeah, come on, guys. Really? Hang on, I'm going to set something up here. Because what I want to do is I've been doing so much stuff all day today that it's just been crazy. What's up, Roy? So you have, hang on, I'm gonna pop something up here real quick. Okay, that's what I thought. So forgive me here while I do this. I want to center this into this. So give me just a moment. There. All right, so should we have, I need to show something. I want to put that up there. Hey, Roy, how are you? We got Chris B. We got Rideshare Rookie. We have a small group today, but hopefully people will come along. We have 6 in the house right now. The lines are open if you want to call in and ask questions or discuss the coronavirus of any way, as long as it's professional and, we are looking at trying to get everybody calmed down because the media is pumping this up. I'm not saying coronavirus it ain't serious, because it is. But when it comes to taking down the daggone market, putting everybody on watch, having everybody halt their life, Italy, lockdown, Spain, talking about it, New York City, the governor wants to shut down restaurants and bars. He asked them to voluntarily do that now, but believe me, that is coming. And I gave y'all homework to read Agenda 21. Bet nobody did. But all this is in line with that. We're going to get people into a controlled situation and get them into an area where we can control them. You know what I mean? They did that in Ohio. Okay. Miami, Fort Lauderdale have closed beaches, rightfully so. Today, Clearwater Beach was packed. I don't ask me why, because I mean everything's been canceled. If you're a rideshare driver, I've got news for you. St. Patrick's Day events have been canceled. So, I mean, what are we doing here? Oh, yeah, sure, hon. Hold on. All the people are hoarding stuff. Yes, yes, Roy. Absolutely. Without a doubt. All the people are hoarding stuff. I went to Save-A-Lot today. I got lucky. They had toilet paper up. They had paper towels. They had wipes. They had, what do you call it? Lysol spray. A bunch of stuff. And, guys, I think people are really taking this the wrong way. I mean, you know, what are we gonna do? I don't get it. Let's see, livestock market, which I'm sure won't. When Disney closes, it's crazy. Yes, people are going to do desperate things. That's another thing, y'all. Y'all heard the saying, when Waffle House closes, the shit hits the fan? Well, that's very similar to Walt Disney World. Let me show you this. I don't know if you can see that, but 7874.88 was the ending result of the NASDAQ today, right? Wasn't it over 29,000 like a month ago? How crazy is that? And people, oh, here she comes. Let me make sure my audio's on. What happened? Hello? Did she not call? Well, isn't that something? Let me call her ass back. Oh, that was me. I guess she didn't call. What the hell? Call back, Lisa. It only shows me. All right, what do we got here? Voicemail? How long is this going to happen? Look, I don't know. I think I accidentally hung up on you, Lisa. Call back. Hello? All right, we're having difficulties. Try one more time, honey. Default. Right. Everything is good. Should be good to go. Hello? Hello? Okay. All right. Try again, sweetheart. I'm sorry. My phone got the virus right. Okay, so how long can this go on? Well, honestly, my thoughts are a lot of people. My mom said that I should expect at least one quarantine, if not more. Hello.
Hi,
Okay, so you can hear me. Cool.
I can now. I got your voicemail twice.
I know. Apparently, I didn't allow the microphone, so I had
Allow the microphone to what?
to for Hangouts. I didn't give it permission to use.
Ah, okay.
This is the first time I've done
So
this.
anyway, oh really?
Yeah.
I did that with Joe too, Dark Road Run too. I called him just for the heck of it because it was the first time he did it. So I said, I have nothing to say. He goes, that's okay. I have no questions anyway. But anyway, to stick to topic, did my son called me and told me that they're closing all the restaurants in Ohio because that's where he lives.
Really?
They're closing all the restaurants and things will be open from certain times. And then, but the only things that are staying open are fast food and the grocery stores and the pharmacies and some convenience stores during certain times.
What do you think this means?
Everybody's scared. I don't know why everybody's so scared. Why everybody is doing this. I think the more people make of it,
Yeah.
the more things are going to happen.
Right.
Because, I mean, I was doing Instacart today, and I was on the phone with my son, actually, but this lady said I was talking to her, so she started talking to me. And so, you know, I was talking back and everything, but, like, she's like, you sound sick. And I said, I have a stuffy nose.
Right.
I said, it's allergies. She's like, oh, then you're okay. What? If I were sick, if I was sick, I'm not okay?
Right.
So people are just taking things way too far, and I think the further they take them, the farther this is going to go. And media is looking at it for great. People are watching their news broadcasts. Everybody's getting views on YouTube. Like, in the grocery stores are making bank.
Yes, they are.
I mean, like, there is nothing on the shelves, and then they have to close during certain times just so they can restock all their back stock. Like, at Wegmans yesterday, well, it's our local grocery store up here in New York, they were selling green bananas. Like, literally, they were green, like the grass.
Wow.
I told the girl, I said, you weren't expecting to put these up here for a couple weeks, were you? I mean, like, they're not even close to being ready. People are buying them.
Yes, they are.
They have nothing.
I saw
Like-
toilet paper on Amazon for $750.
I had a customer. I don't know if I told you this. I don't know who I told. A lady bought 5 rolls of toilet paper off Amazon for $100 yesterday.
5
She told me about
rolls?
it yesterday when I dropped off her 5 rolls for $100 off Amazon.
Good Lord.
It's just, it's going to keep going the way people are thinking. They're just making more of it, and as they keep making more of it, it's just going to keep going on. Like, I was doing a shop today for Instacart, and someone stole my cart. Now, I had soap in there, and I had things in there for the customer I was shopping for. Someone stole the damn cart. And then frickin' they put it in another department of the store. So I'm going to get another cart, grabbing some of the stuff that I had, and then when I was talking to some girl, she's like, is that it right there? Because it looks like the same stuff in your hand.
Yep.
So she just took out the stuff she wanted out of my cart and then moved my cart to a whole different department. Seriously?
I would have whooped her ass.
I mean, oh, trust me, I was looking in everybody's cart to see who had my groceries because And then I was mad. But anyway,
Look at
so I
this.
also noticed with what?
36,000 rolls of toilet paper, or I'm sorry, paper towels for $700.
That beats the $12.99 that it normally runs.
Right?
Oh my God, are you kidding me? It's just.
I'm not kidding you. I have it on the screen.
No, well, I have you on pause.
Oh, okay.
I can read the chat, but I can't read the. I don't have the. I have the.
I see.
The other thing, I'm on pause, so that way it doesn't interrupt the call.
Roy said.
I've done this before.
Roy said, "Keep your filthy ass at home."
What?
Everybody, keep
Hope
your
he
filthy
wasn't
ass
talking
at
about
home.
me.
No, not you. Just like everybody in general.
Oh.
Like everybody in general. Keep your filthy ass at home. That's crazy.
I don't know.
Okay, so my
And then,
my thoughts are, yes, the media may be making a bigger deal out of this, but we also have the possibility, the very real possibility, that this is going to be a bigger thing than we think. I mean, everything's closing down. You know, companies are closing down. They're telling people to work from home. I've noticed a decline in Uber earnings, and I'm sure you have with your gigs.
No, actually, I haven't.
No?
Nope. But think about it, Scott. What is today? What age are we in? We are in an age where everybody sues everybody. Everybody sues everybody.
Right.
So if they get sick and the place doesn't close down, they're going to say, well, they kept it open so other people could get affected, and that's why I got sick. You know?
Right.
Kind of like, say I was delivering to a house that was infected, and they knowingly did it. You know, I'll sue them because they let me bring them the groceries or something. It's just the way the world is today. I mean, you can sue anybody for anything, and I can guarantee that is why people are closing and things are getting postponed. I mean, come on, I don't understand why the NFL and the NBA and the baseball spring training, I have no idea why they're doing it, but, I mean, they could be doing it for the same reason that they don't want to get other players sick.
Right.
You know, because you do need them eventually. I mean, you know, when you lose your starters, you know, you're always messed up for the season. I mean, it's the only thing I can think of when it comes to the sports, but the only thing I can think of is that people can sue people for anything, and that's a big part of the reason why things are closing, just so that way they can clean everything and they can say that they were proactive when it came to this. I don't know.
I'm looking at a listing on Amazon right now for a 4-pack of Lysol wipes, $32. I paid $2 to save a lot.
Oh my God.
Yep.
I have a 4-pack that I bought at my store at Wegmans, and I paid like $3 for it.
Right.
And I see, now this is silly. I don't understand why people don't have this stuff in their house. Do they not clean their bathrooms? You know, I mean, what do they use to clean their bathrooms if they had to run to the store and buy all this crap?
I know.
Okay, and rubber gloves. I had a whole box of rubber gloves because when I clean the bathroom, it's kind of gross. So I use the rubber gloves because they're disposable, and you don't have to the latex gloves. You don't have to leave them lying around your house.
Yep.
You know, so I use the disposable gloves to clean my bathroom and stuff. And I gave a whole box to some guy, like yesterday, the day before, to give to his daughter because she was panicking. And he's like, how much do you want for him? I didn't want anything for him. I just gave it to him because I had an extra pair.
Right. Yeah, Roy's saying,
so,
Roy's like, you don't need Lysol to clean the bathroom, and you don't. Bleach, Comet,
Lysol
whatever.
wipes.
But people are
That's what
getting
I use.
these, they're getting these wipes because they're freaking out that the coronavirus is going to keep them at home. But if you're at home and you're quarantined, you're only around your own damn germs. So a simple wipe down, even with Windex, will kill the thing, right? I mean, how many times have people in this live stream been sick with the daggone flu? What do? You lay in the
Probably
bed.
everybody here.
Right. You lay in the bed, you drink some damn chicken soup, you pet the dog, you watch TV, you get over it, and you're done.
Mhm.
You know, and I guess now
Well-
Walmarts are closing at 11, Publix is closing at 8, although I do have it on good authority that a writer told me that her uncle worked for the head office in Arkansas, and they are talking about closing Walmarts for 2 months.
Damn.
If that happens, we are done for.
I don't know. We still have our big grocery stores chains that will just be happy to swoop in and buy all the extra stuff that we're going to need,
Right.
to tell you the truth. I mean, you know, if Walmart closed today, I would miss it. I only go there sometimes. I don't like them very much because I don't like the way they treat their employees, and I don't like the way that they brag about how much money they make, but how little they pay their employees. Kind of like Uber,
Yes.
you know. But like, so I don't really go to Walmart a lot unless I have to. So if they close today, I really wouldn't miss it.
I wouldn't either, but I mean, a lot of people would. You know, they are firm believers in the Walmart, the Walmart movement and things like that, and they would really miss it. You know, so
Yeah.
you know, what are you gonna do?
Well,
But
do you have a Target?
I don't do Target.
Oh, see, Target is almost just like higher class Walmart, I think.
Right. The only thing with Target is they have some issues with supporting veterans, and so I'm not going to do that. But that's just me.
They do.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that. My son's a Marine.
Yep, that's what I was told. And also, the governor of New York was on this morning YouTube, and he had stated that he is strongly supporting the use of abandoned buildings or buildings that are being sold to create hospitals.
I don't know. I didn't hear that.
So I would have to find his live stream, but yes. If you follow some of the conspiracy theories that I do, a lot of Walmarts are closing to be turned into what they would call FEMA camps. So by him saying this, that's just kind of supporting that. But again, it's all conspiracy. We don't have any like facts, but the government's never going to tell you like what you need to know. You know what I mean? So they're just going to kind of let you wing it. So it's just crazy.
I don't know. I'm wondering if he's doing that to like, because I know in New Rochelle he opened up a clinic, one of those drive-through clinics for people to be able to randomly have checks if they have it or not. So I'm wondering if he's thinking the same thing, if he's planning on using anything that's been abandoned or closed to do the same thing throughout the state. Because you got to remember, I'm in New York State, but I'm still 4 hours away from maybe 5 hours away from New York City. And New Rochelle, I know exactly where that is, and I think I'm 4 or 5 hours away from right there.
Right.
So if I was sick, you know, and I had underlying problems, then that drive probably wouldn't be. She just passed away of COPD, and I know how sick she got. It was flu season or something, and if we were sick, we weren't going to be around her until we were healed.
Right.
I'm not a big fan of the governor or his father, for that matter, but I can see him wanting to do that just because he's actually, the last news conference he had, he was actually really, really weird.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe that's what I'm thinking. I didn't hear anything about it, so I mean, I can't really say anything, but that would be my guess.
Yeah. There's a lot of
New York
things
City's
going on.
pretty big.
You know, and they did show that that area where they were doing the testing. They had the cones and stuff, and nobody was there. But the mayor, or I'm sorry, the governor did say that they had tested like 800 people yesterday, and almost 500 people were positive. And he was saying that the more tests that are getting out there, the more people are going to test positive. And my whole point and argument was that we have a lot of people in this country that are not insured. So you could have people running around the streets right now, and nobody would know if they had it or they didn't.
Yeah.
Because nobody can go to the hospital. You know what I mean?
Well, the big thing is they're gonna feel they're gonna have a fever. You know, so I mean, the minute you get a fever, you can find out if you are sick or not.
Right. But a lot of people
You
have
know?
gotten in my car this last week with cold-like symptoms, flu-like symptoms. They're getting in the car. They don't care.
Nope, they don't. Because they're just getting in your car and leaving. They don't really they don't
Yep.
care.
And I put them out. I'd say, I'm sorry, you have flu-like symptoms. I want you out the car. I'm not playing that. No. So, Rideshare Rookie said, apparently gas pumps, be careful also. What does that mean? Are you saying there's some fraud or things like that with gas pumps?
Well, the only thing about gas is that it's going. But that's because apparently we bought enough oil to keep our country going without having to purchase it elsewhere.
Oh, I see.
The only thing I know about what's going on with the oil, because he said he said he did that.
We've had oil in this country for decades. My grandma used to say that there was tons and tons and tons
We're not supposed to know that.
of oil, right?
We're not supposed to know that we have reserve and everything else.
Yep.
But
They want
that's
you
probably
to
why we
buy
got so much.
all that shit. They want you to buy all that oil from overseas.
Mm-hmm. Yep, bring some tax money.
We got a
They
water
can't get
tank.
it somewhere. They're going to find other place to it.
We got a water tank, an empty water tank for $115. One of those things that you put water in.
Yeah.
$115, and it's a plastic thing you can get at frickin' Home Depot for, I don't know, maybe 40 tops. And there's only 12 in stock. Yep. Lisa, this is getting crazy.
People-
What are you doing?
People forget they have tap water.
Right.
What the frick? And if you can't drink the tap water, boil it. You know, like you do when there's something in the water.
Right.
Oh my Lord. I don't know.
What are you doing to prepare?
I do what I always do. I have my disinfecting wipes. I've always had them in my car and in my house. I have gloves. Well, actually, the gloves are new, so I'm using the gloves when I'm doing my Instacart shopping.
Yeah.
To touch. So when I'm my hands are on the cart because you never know who's touching the cart. But as soon as I get back in my car, I toss them. I keep Lysol in my car, and I Lysol. I mean, pretty much the same thing as anybody from the northern states do.
Right.
Because of flu season. And when I would get sick, when I used to smoke, I would get bronchitis really bad. And then I was getting sick and tired of being sick like that, so I took the precautions of the Lysol and everything else and wiping my car down so that way sick people didn't get me sick while I did rideshare.
Right.
And I've been doing rideshare now for about 2 years now, and knock on wood, it works. But other than that, I'm really not doing anything else, anything different.
Do you have enough food?
No.
Well, I don't either.
Tell you the truth, no, I actually really don't. I have enough food for maybe like a few days.
We're probably good for about 2 weeks.
God, you're better off than I am. I no, because I'm never home, and my brother's the only one that's there. You know, so, and he doesn't want for a lot, so we really don't keep a lot of food in the house.
We don't either. Which is, kind of, sad, but, we're more concerned about paying bills.
Yep.
And, we just kind of went through like the dollar menu and things like that, and it's just crazy, and today it's like, well, I guess I better go do what I got to do. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you got to do. But, I mean, there's like no water or nothing at all on Amazon. And if there is, it's, expensive and it's crazy. Are we headed for a recession? That's a good question. Do you believe we're headed for a recession, Lisa?
Oh, yeah.
What indicators are indicating to you that we're headed to a recession?
The stock market, for one thing. I mean, I have a Robinhood account, and that was up $165 2 months ago. Now it's under 100.
Yeah, me too.
And it's really bad. I don't even know what my 401 looks like at work. I'm not even going to look, because the last time it crashed, I lost thousands of dollars in it, so I don't even want to look. I don't even want to know. But I can already tell just by the Robinhood. And I think Joe did, when he did his live last night, he said Uber was at $21.
Yeah.
I bought my Uber stock when it was at $29, and that was its record low. Oh, what the frick? Let me look here. See what it is right now.
Yeah, let me see what mine is.
Oh my God! See, like everything is in red. Actually, everything's in black. Oh, okay, here we go. Oh, the GoPro, the camera thing.
Yeah.
That's up.
Really?
Yep.
Well, I lost 52 cents today. Uber's at $23.03.
Yep.
The cryptos.
Oh my God! I got a stock at 34 cents. Are you
What?
freaking kidding me? What the hell's that? It's I think that's the Snapchat one, or not Snapchat. It's oh my gosh! It's Internap, INTERNAP. I don't know. But that's at 34 cents. Holy shit!
The China Pharmacy is at 56 cents. When I had bought stock there, it was at 34 cents, but it's falling. I sold that stock. Lyft is at 24.30.
What is the Lyft at?
Huh?
What's Lyft at?
$24.30.
Damn.
Disney is at $101.50. They were at $125 yesterday.
What's Amazon stock at?
Oh, good question. Let me look.
I would check, except for I'm driving.
I'll look. I'll look. Amazon. Here we go.
Bet you that baby's right up there.
$1,765.64, and they were up today $108.39. Over the month, though, they have lost $390.
There's no way.
Yeah.
I'd like to see how they did that. When everybody's getting all the that they're getting in stores. That.
Yeah, Amazon was over $2,000. Roy tells me to tell you.
Then.
Yeah. Roy tells me to
God.
tell you that next time you go shopping for someone else to buy yourself a couple bags of rice and beans and pasta, it's hella cheap.
Why? I don't cook.
You might have to, sweetheart, if you're stuck at home.
I better.
That's what I'm saying. People don't realize that
Well,
if we are quarantined, you ain't going nowhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah, see, that's going to be my problem. Well, see, I also work at the truck, and they're not closing the truck because they need them for the truck drivers. It's supposed to spend me. The truck drivers are home. They're sick at home, or their third home, whatever. But freaking, they won't close the truck stops.
Right.
No matter what, they're keeping us healthy. They've got Lysol sanitizer. They got crap everywhere. So that way so we won't get sick.
Right.
So either way, between my truck stop job and Instacart, I think I'm going to be all right for a while. Because they're actually, with Instacart, they're extending our shopping times, and they're actually giving us more money
Really?
in the like a shop that I did today that normally would have been like $12. I got paid $24 for it.
Wow.
Yeah, because nobody wants to go out there and do anything.
Right.
I mean, especially Instacart shoppers, they're like, their house or something that people who just want to do it, not any money, they don't do it like some people do it as another gig job, like the rest of us. But some people that in market, they just do it because they're past the time, really.
Right.
So, they're like, they don't need to do it, they're not going to, which opens the door for the rest of us who do the gig work on a daily basis to be able to get the money. They're paying out pretty good. So, and then Instacart, I did a video on, they got a new thing on there. We don't have to keep calling them every time stores don't have things. They have to cancel an order. We can actually cancel the order off our app, and we can do it 3 times in a 24-hour period.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's something that's really good for Instacart shoppers. Because most of the time you're going to the store and you're getting Lysol, Clorox, or wipes. Have them, and then you got to stay on the phone with Instacart for 2 hours because you got to get the order before you can close it. Yeah, it's a hand.
That sounds like a pain in the ass to me.
Oh,
You
it
know.
is. It's a real pain in the ass, but they're working on it so that way, it helps us out a little bit.
Right.
Plus, it helps them out too because they're the ones getting bombarded with phone calls and angry Instacart shoppers and everything.
Wow.
But I think between both my jobs, I mean, I'm not going anywhere. I think I'm doing pretty good. I'm going to do all right. So I'm glad to the state.
Well,
But I'm definitely not moving to Ohio soon since everything's freaking closed right now.
right.
I'm in.
Well, get your money while you can. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I wanted to be out of New York by the end of the month. Or at least by next month, but not with all this going on. I might
Right.
just stay tight.
I mean, we got countries like Italy and
takes time.
Spain trying to shut down, and they have good
Oh,
health
my
care
God.
there. Good health care.
Yeah. Right before the corona thing, the virus down, everybody was talking about it.
Yeah.
I was out in Italy. He lives in Italy. And He was in Buffalo on business. So you're the first person. The other you that no car. Man, did I spray and clean everything down that he touched after I found that out about the coronavirus.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's the only thing, the only probable person that I would have gotten in my car that was sick. That might have been sick, but he wasn't sick, so I treated it as if he wasn't sick, but just to take a precaution,
Right.
you know? So it is what it is.
Well, I wish you luck. Obviously, you want to keep in contact with us. You want to let us know how things are going. And, you know, just be safe. That's all you can do.
Yeah. So all of us can do, you know?
Yeah.
Especially doing all this when we're in contact with people. So I'm happy for the ones that are taking a break. I mean, I'm glad that they have the resources that they're able to, you know? So I can't. I literally, both my jobs, gig work and my truck stop job, are both full-time jobs. So I literally can't take any time off.
Right.
But, so, it is what it is, right?
Right.
But as long as we wash our hands and do what we're supposed to do, I think we'll be all right.
Agreed. Well, I'm going to go ahead and hang up because I have to run and pee real quick, and I'll come back, and hopefully, you know, we can get somebody else to call in. If they don't, you can call back. I want to, obviously, you know, give a fair chance for everybody, but give me a real quick second to go to the bathroom, and then...
Yeah. It looks like the rideshare rookie wants to call in because he's got a lot to say.
I know, right?
You see all that? All right. Talk to you later.
All right, hon.
All right, bye.
Give me a minute, guys, to go to the bathroom, and I'll be right back. Give me just a minute. Okay, let me get my headphones back on. Here comes the dickhead Roy. I'm tired of telling people to prepare themselves. They don't want to listen, so let them continue to buy their toilet paper and wipes, right? No, I don't believe this is. I don't believe this is airborne. I do want to back the CDC on that, and I do want to say that I think you have to be within a meter or so of catching it, right? Guys, go ahead and share the stream. We really got to get some people in here to really talk about this. I really do believe that this is a very important topic, and Let's see, what do we got? Omer, why don't you go ahead and call in? Let me put the number in here. Come on, rookie. Hey, Troll, how are you, Lucky Troll? Nice to see you. My biggest concern is an economical consequence, honestly. Not just with Uber, Lyft, Amazon, jobs, whatever. I mean, the whole thing. Feds have slashed rates down to practically nothing. Bob S. just said, everyone, bars and restaurants closing down here starting for the next 2 weeks. I can't call them. I can't watch. You can watch, Roy. Just go back to your screen and pause the stream, and then you can still see the chat. Yeah, a lot of people are shutting down. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm overreacting, but knowing what I know from Agenda 21 and 2030, this would not surprise me. You know, guys, the phone number's here in the chat. It's also on the bottom of the screen. Feel free to call in. I've got the lines open. Here we go. Hello, you're on the air with American Truth. Who is this?
Hello, is this the conspiracy line?
It is the conspiracy line.
Stop spreading false rumors, young man.
What are you doing, Omer?
How's it going? I was just trying to mess with you, but yes, I watched your video the other day, and there's a lot of things that I agree with, but I don't necessarily want to talk about it on the air. But people should be freaking out because this pandemic is just way over the top. I mean, seriously, it's crazy. Italy, France shutting down their restaurants, Spain just went on a lockdown. I'm expecting an entire supply chain to be shut off, and then Washington State might be cut off as well. This is freaking the heck out of me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, you guys have a lot of cases in Washington State too, and you work at an airport. So how is that going for you?
It's bad. It's not so much the company I work with, but it's the connecting flights. So say, today we've got maybe round about, thank you, have a good round about 100 people in our, imagine this, 100 out of our 354 seats. So that's not even 1/3. Definitely not breaking even, but our inbound flights are still pretty full because people are trying to get out and come back to the States. And other airlines, like security lines, are dead. There's hardly anyone. Employees are just sitting around, twiddling their thumbs. It's bad. I'm expecting our flights to be shut down as well because I think it's just going to be far worse than what people are not even realizing how serious this is.
And this is at the SeaTac Airport?
SeaTac Airport, that's right. Yeah, the lines, usually at this time it's fairly busy. The lines are, around this time, it's still, lines used to be jam-packed around 4 p.m. to 4 and 6 peak time, but there's hardly anyone. Security's dead, TSA agents are just standing around, doing nothing. I wouldn't be surprised if they put us on a lockdown as well, because of the rate that it's spreading. Our governor said, in a matter of 7-8 weeks, we could have as high as 64,000 people infected. So.
And what are they doing to conquer that?
Well, they shut down the schools, so 100,000 kids are not going to schools. They're just pretty much, telling everyone not to travel. I'm watching the local news, so we did declare, we were one of the first states to declare the national state emergency. So they're just recommending do not do any kind of unnecessary travel unless you really need to. And, they are recommending people to purchase several weeks worth of food. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I definitely stacked up.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so I'm just afraid if they cut the flights and supplies, I don't know what to tell you.
Well, I guess you got one flight coming in, or had one coming in at 11:15 from Beijing, and it was canceled.
Yeah, it was canceled, wasn't it? Oh yeah, what they're doing also is, I don't know if you watch the news. They're doing the same thing here at TTAC. Is they're testing everyone that's coming directly. They're testing everyone. It should have been done when we first saw the outbreak out of China. The first month, nothing was really done, and I think that contributed to a lot of spread here in Washington.
Right.
And it's going twofold every day, and it's real. So
TSA
yeah.
stands around and does nothing anyways. No surprise there. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all I got. I didn't really have much to say except that's what's going on in Washington. I'm really afraid. Everyone should definitely stack up. I'm sure they've heard your videos, buying all the unnecessary stuff.
Right.
I'll tell you, I bought my supplies. What's today? Today's Sunday. I bought my supplies 20 days ago, so 2 Fridays. So about 18, 19 days ago when I first went into the store, no one was panicking. And after President Trump did the first speech, then they started freaking out the following day. And then that other speech when he did it from the Oval Office, it was just crazy. Everyone just started buying all the unnecessary stuff and stop buying toilet paper and all the non-necessary things. Just buy a week's worth of food. That's all you really need. And now I think I went to the store yesterday. Shelves are just bare, emptied out.
I got lucky today at Save-A-Lot. They had just brought in a truck. And
really?
I did find wipes. I did find Lysol, 1 can of Lysol spray, which I did snatch because I'm still planning on working, and I need to sanitize the car. But I pretty much steered away from all that stuff, and I went after the food. Right.
Good.
So we got plenty of canned goods, non-perishables. We have a big bag of grits, which honestly, guys, grits goes a long way. You can make you can make a whole bowl of grits with 3 tablespoons of grits, and then what is it, 3/4 cup of water. Jen Joy says if we do get locked down, I'll never want to eat canned food or pasta ever again. Right?
Yeah, I bought 2 50-pound bags of the white Canadian flour. I bought one 50-pound bag of grits. So I'm set. Oil, salt, all the necessities.
The flour is smart because you can make a lot with flour. You can make pancakes. They're not real tasty, but you can make, just a little flour and water, salt, sugar. You can make all kinds of stuff with flour that will sustain you through a major lockdown.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All the money y'all spending on wipe and shit, you could buy 2 large bottles of Everclear cheaper. Come on, right? It's okay to have. I mean, my mother told me you don't need to worry about the wipes and all that crap unless you become infected.
Correct.
So, I mean, I have it only because of the car, but the day that comes that I cannot work, I'm not going to need them.
Yeah.
I got bleach.
We laugh around, our elderly telling us all the stories, but nothing we're experiencing today has not happened throughout their history. And, we try to think that they're overly smart and, what do they know? But believe me, they do. And my uncle was telling me, I just wanted to state that out there. My uncle was telling me yesterday one of his neighbors went out to Safeway, and there was an elderly lady, I think in her 70s. Apparently she looked, like a high maintenance, and she was too afraid to go inside the Safeway to buy her groceries. So then she approached this young gal, and she said, how do you feel about it? I'll give you a list. Go ahead. I'll give you the money to go buy the supplies, and I'll give you $100 to just go do the shopping for me. So, elderly are really afraid of going shopping. So imagine how many older folks are just in a situation where they're either too afraid or they have no one to go shopping for them. So, yeah.
This is definitely creating a lot of fear amongst the general population of the world, not just the United States. And I think a lot of people have a right to be concerned, but I think also that it should not stop your life.
Yeah,
I'm not
that,
saying run out and join a whole bunch of crowd of people and get infected and go to
mm,
movies, but you know it's getting ridiculous.
it is. It's definitely media hype, but you know, at the same time, we should be cautious. Yeah. All right. I gotta get going, get back to work. But thank you for letting me chat with you, and I hope you get another caller. I'll continue listening in the background.
All right, Elmer, thanks for calling in.
All right. You're welcome. Take it easy. Bye.
Well, guys, you heard that. I mean, we're looking at a lot of people panicking, and it's just crazy. Honestly, I don't know what we're going to do. But it's only one thing that we can do, and that is to remain calm. Yes, you have to pay your bills. Yes, you have to continue living life. A lot of these companies are. I get emails all day long from companies like Winn Dixie and Publix and things like that that they're putting out their statements about the coronavirus, and it's becoming a really big panic for a lot of people. Um, if you're an independent contractor, you already know that things have just dived. There's actually talks about Chris's hotel laying people off because they had 100 cancellations in one day because Hilton pushed out a memo saying you could cancel within 24 hours, no problem. You know what I mean? So it's just crazy. Um, so all right, Steve-O, come on. Bob S says he went to Sam's Club and half the items were gone. Roy says remain calm, buy proper goods should you be locked down or laid off, and keep your ammo ready. Correct. Correct. Hold on. Nobody call. Nobody call. Hold on. Nah. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Uh, yeah, never mind. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna say I'm ready. I'm packed. That's all I'm gonna say. Um, we got two pit bulls over here, and we're ready. But guys, Chris even said the other day when we brought home the water, he said, "I'm gonna keep the water in this location." Hold on, we got a caller. Hello, you're on the air with American Truth. Who is this?
This is Steve-O, the rideshare rookie boy.
What's up?
How come it's not live? Hold on.
What ain't live?
What's up, guys? So number one, thanks for the channel. Good information. But I want to share some things with you guys. So there's a lot of talk about freaking out at the airports. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Can you
I
hear
hear
me?
myself. There's a lot of freaking out about picking up at the airports and stuff like that. If you're gonna do that and be worried and freaked out, don't go out and drive. Stay home.
Right.
Because you can contract this anywhere you go. Right? You can get this at a grocery store. You can get this at Walmart. You can get this, like I said, at the gas stations. If you're touching the nozzles, anywhere. So I'm not going to call out any channel names, but there's a lot of freaking out about don't pick up at the airports. I disagree with that. If you keep your car sanitized and keep your car clean like you should be anyway, you shouldn't have to worry.
Exactly.
And this is well beyond before this coronavirus started. I mean, the flu, as you know, is a lot more deadly. We have a lot more cases of the regular flu than this. Yes, it's something we should be concerned about, 110%. But as far as people freaking out, this is the media doing this stuff. My wife went out today. She went to the grocery store. She had to go to like 3 or 4 different stores just to buy general stuff, food,
Yeah. And we've
so
never
all
had to
this
do
media
that. So
hype,
Americans are going to start freaking out because now we got to start going to 8 different places just to get a daggone roll of toilet paper.
exactly. We couldn't find it today. We finally found our last store. We tried 9 stores to finally find some. And it's just getting out of control. People are just going nuts. I do think that we're probably headed for a quarantine, so a mandatory quarantine by the government. And that's definitely going to make our economy a lot worse than it already is, because we're already faced, you just look at the stock markets and you could just see where it's tanking. But, Omar had some good points there, but I do want to say I'm not freaking out about it. I'm concerned about it. I don't want to catch it. But I will tell you, I'm recovering from bronchitis still.
Yep.
And my doctor told me if you get it, unless you're an older person or you've got a lot of medical problems, the treatment is to stay at home, rest, drink lots of fluids, and self-quarantine yourself.
Now, what do you think about this that I'm about to say? There were plenty of doctors on Twitter and Facebook, basically social media, that have stated that there are no cases of coronavirus in their hospital, and the majority of the states are infected by the numbers, right?
Right.
So how come these doctors in major cities are not reporting any cases of the coronavirus?
That's a good question, and I'm glad you asked it, and I find it very alarming. I have a friend, she's in my group chat in Orlando here. She has respiratory problems all of a sudden. She's been doing a lot of pickups, not even at the airport, mostly Disney. And they wouldn't even test her today for it. They told her that, that they're only testing people that are 65 years or older and if they have severe medical problems. So I find that it's very alarming that the doctors are not testing people, and I think that we do have a lot more cases than what's being reported out there.
Keep in mind, though,
110%.
Steve, a lot of people in this country are not insured, so they're not going to go to the hospital. Right. You could have people living right next door to you, and they might have symptoms. And, of course, I don't know if you've picked anybody up, but I've had plenty of people that have had the sniffles and all that shit in the car, right. And I had to throw them out.
Right, exactly. I picked 3 riders up from the airport last night. One he was coughing, but I think he was a smoker like me.
Right.
2 other riders were from one was from Colombia, one was from Honduras, and I asked them questions before we started the trip. But they didn't show any signs or anything like that. And like I said, my car is sterile. It always is. Before the coronavirus, we have to as rideshare drivers.
Yep.
And just in general, we got to keep our houses clean. I think Lisa made a great point earlier when she called in. Why is everybody running out buying cleaning supplies now?
Roy said the same thing. What are you going to do?
And Roy
Eat them?
said the same thing too. Yeah, exactly. But the point is, we should already have this stuff on hand. Since I started doing rideshare a year ago, I always keep Lysol. I keep wipes. Everything in my trunk. I have a little go bag in the back compartment. I keep everything in there. And I clean it down before I start and when I'm done. And in between rides when it's slow. We've got to do that, because like I said, there's a lot more viruses that go on. It's not just, directly corona. We've got the flu. Remember when we had that swine flu,
Yep.
The pig flu, whatever you want to call it?
Mm-hmm.
So there's so many cases like that. But going back to the doctors and stuff, I do find that a little alarming, and I think that, we probably do have more cases than obviously what's being reported. But for my doctor to tell me that, well, if you have it, there's nothing I can do because you don't have medical problems. Basically, it was brought to me like, well, you don't meet the criteria for this, so you would just need to self-quarantine.
Right.
But the economy is, and I'm hoping we're not heading for a recession, but it's looking like it. Based on, if people are forced to self-quarantine, not a lot of people are going to be getting paid, I did see, I made a video about Uber, what they're going to do for drivers, but, that money's going to run out quick.
Right.
And I'll give you another one, too, with Disney closing Universal, all the theme parks over at Universal Studios.
Oh, yeah.
And they're being forced to take time off, and if they want to get paid, they have to use vacation days.
Isn't
If
that
they
crazy?
don't have vacation days, they are not going to be paid. And, I'll go ahead and agree with Roy, too, on the Second Amendment, because did you see the video on the 83-year-old who had you did that video, I think.
Yeah.
She had a cart with the toilet paper, and it was ripped
Yep.
out of her hands. So, but, yeah, people are just going nuts. I mean, toilet paper, this, that. It's just absolutely absurd. You know, like I said, the wife went out to do normal grocery shopping every 2 weeks, and I think she ended up at 3 different Walmarts and a BJ's just to get everything we need, basic food stuff.
That's
You
just
know, we did
crazy.
buy a little more. We did buy a little more just to be on the safe side, you know.
Right.
But you know, but the cleaning stuff, that's stuff that we always keep on hand. I mean, you've always got to be prepared no matter what you're dealing with. So, you know,
It also
um,
concerns me that people are not prepared on a normal day for anything. I mean, so there's
right,
a mad panic to go to the store, and including myself, and
yeah,
it's trying to stock up, and it's just nuts.
yeah. I went to 2 stores today, try to find some toilet paper as well, and the shelves, the Target, there's nothing on the shelves. Gone.
Really.
Gone. I didn't know that they didn't support the military either. By the way, that's good to know. I mean, it's not good, but it's good to know that they don't. I mean, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's
Yeah. Well,
information.
Margaret had actually
didn't
told me
know.
about that, and I was kind of disappointed
Yeah,
about that.
yeah,
I have not done any
'cause I
research, honestly, but yeah.
yeah, I've always preferred Target, but you know now with that, but yeah, last night I went out. I drove 8 hours, and I made $71 in 8 hours. It's bad out there. It's dry. Nobody's tipping. I mean, you know, there's
Right.
a lot of tips anyway, but the market is just dried up. I mean, I waited stupidly at the airport for 2 hours just to get a ride. You know,
Right.
there's just all the local rides. There was just nothing going on. You know, and I don't know. It's quite concerning. I think, like you said, again, I think we do need to always be prepared. That's for anything. But I don't think we need to get into this manic attack of, oh, let's go bombard the stores. And there was a line at Publix at 4 o'clock this morning by my house.
What
People
time do
in
they
line to get
open?
toilet. They don't open till 7 over here on Sundays. 4 o'clock this morning. My wife was at Publix, and she said that the manager told her, because she'd asked about toilet paper, and the manager told her there was a line of people at 4 o'clock in the morning. Isn't that crazy?
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it is. It is ridiculous. You know, and I mean, I've got to agree with Roy, and I see Omar made a comment about ammo and stuff. You know, yeah, we don't know what these people are gonna do. You know, they see you coming in with toilet paper, you know, rob you for it. It's ridiculous.
Yep. And let me tell you something else. If it becomes a massive quarantine where we're in our home for longer than 2 weeks, I can guarantee to you when these stores start getting trucks back in to restock the stores, it might
Right.
just be a robbery on that food truck.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. And you might see a lot of looting and stuff,
Yep.
all kinds of things. We don't know what can happen. And then a couple other things I want to talk about real quick. So I found out Publix is going to be closing. I think it's already in effect. They close at 8 o'clock every night
Okay.
to clean their stores completely and restock. My wife was at Walmart today, like I said, actually 3 of them, and they've got big window or signs in the window. Effective immediately, our stores will all close at 11 p.m. So we can clean and restock as well. I don't know if that's going on in other states, you know, or cities. I know it's going on in Orlando because it's at all Orlando Walmarts. So that's going on. Of course, we know about Walt Disney World,
Right.
Universal, SeaWorld, all the parks. I just found out that Miami, Fort Lauderdale, the beaches are closed, and all the restaurants are going to close pretty early as well down there. So
Really.
it's getting nuts. It really is getting nuts out there. But you know, again, you know, why is everybody just waiting last minute?
How many, what do you use?
and running out and buying supplies when you should already have them?
Right.
So,
I mean, it's just nuts.
yeah,
It really is.
And I'm very, very concerned about the economy. I am very concerned about it. Stock market's already tanking. I mean, it has been since this all started.
Yep.
So, you know, we'll see what happens. But my biggest thing is how long is this actually going to keep? You know, I mean, where's the end, or is there an end? You know, I know the agenda. I've been reading up on that, just so you know.
Yeah.
I promise you. Now I know, you know, you'd mentioned that there's flu, some type of flu to come through 2020, and then again in 2030. I read some articles of that. I kind of, you know, browsed through it here and there, you know, but you got to ask yourself, when is this stuff going to, when is it going to just like end? Is it going to end? You know, here in Orlando too, going back to the airport, I mean, I'm not going to cherry pick and not pick up at the airport.
Right.
Now I will screen, and if they're coughing, sneeze, anything like that show flu-like symptoms like you talked about, you're not getting in my car.
Right.
You're done. You got to go. And then I'm not trying to discriminate, but one of the actually 2 TSA workers have now tested positive for this
Yep.
at Orlando International Airport.
Right. I was going to say at Orlando. There's many more. Right now,
Yeah.
on the screen, what I have is video footage of somebody who's live at the Magic Kingdom right now. Of course, I have the sound muted.
Oh, yeah.
And there's really no people. I can tell you from personal experience, having been at Magic Kingdom at this hour during spring break, you can't get through this pathway. Absolutely not.
Right.
It is totally insane.
Yeah.
The carousel, you can walk right on that sumbitch. So,
Wow.
yeah, I mean, and this is the last night, of course, that they're open, and there are people
Yeah.
there. But as you can see, the crowds, for most people looking in, guy just took his kid on a leash. That's hilarious. Looking in, you would say, oh, that's kind of crowded. But trust me, you've never been to the Magic Kingdom like I have. You can actually move and have 3 feet of space around all of your body, no problem. I mean, this is just nuts.
Wow.
Just
I'm
nuts.
seeing it. Yeah, that is nuts.
You
That
see
is-
this?
Yeah.
I mean,
Holy
look at
crap.
the pathways. There's like nobody there.
Yeah, there's nobody there.
And they're going to lose
You know, and that's-
billions.
That's the other thing I was getting ready to say is the economical impact on these employees on Disney. Did you read the article? I guess that you know how they have the college,
Yep.
the kids that come over for like with the what do you call it? Like an internship style. So they're all being forced to go back home.
Yep, the college program. They gave
They-
them 3 days
yeah.
to get out.
To move out of their apartments that's on Disney property, right there, 535 Palm
Mhm.
Parkway area, Little
Yep.
Lake Bryan area. I mean, I know not everybody in the chat knows that area, but you know where it is.
Yep.
That Disney employee housing, they're out. They got to go. And one of the guys that lives in my complex, I actually know him pretty well. He works at Disney, and he said it was an absolutely sad, terrible day seeing a lot of his friends packing
Mhm.
up and having to either this is their last day of having to work.
Exactly.
But the economical, and this is, you know, could definitely put us right in line for a recession, is the money that Disney, Universal, SeaWorld, Aquatic, all these parks are closing. You know, you got your top 2. You've got the cruises. I don't know if you saw that. There's a 30-day suspension.
Correct.
Of cruises. Royal Caribbean has parked all ships. They're not moving them. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing going to be open. It's going to be ghost town.
Yep.
And it's very alarming. You know, I don't know. It bothers me a lot. You know, again, I'm not trying to freak out, and I'm not going to. I'm the type of person that tries to stay prepared as much as I can for anything.
Right.
You know, and I will say with Roy, yeah, I mean, comparing it to the flu, I get what his comment. I understand that. But we got to be prepared. I mean, that's the bottom line. Oh my God, yeah, I see the park there. Is that?
This is
Islands
universal. This is
Adventure?
Universal. Yep.
Yeah.
There's
Wow,
there's
that
nobody
needs to
there.
be packed right now.
Yeah. Look at this.
Unbelievable. Man.
Yeah, this was
Yeah.
uploaded earlier. This is just a regular video, but you know, this is just
Wow.
nuts.
This is absolutely insane. Oh my gosh.
Let me see if I can find one from SeaWorld. Hold on. I'll try. I can't promise you.
But I
nothing.
mean, yeah, but you take as much money as those parks bring in, just those, because I'm sure Busch Gardens is closed as well.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, that was on the list. Legoland,
Yep.
I mean, we're talking billions of dollars losses with the cruise ship for Disney because that stopped.
Yep.
Not to mention Disney out in California, Universal California, Disney in Tokyo closed.
Yep.
So Disney's pretty much shut
So
down all
we have Hong
operations.
Kong, we have Shanghai, we have I want to say Beijing, but I might be wrong. We have Paris, we have Disneyland in California, and we also have Walt Disney World, and they're all closed.
Yeah, yeah, and that's alarming, and that's what's really going to drive us even more into economical decline, huge, if not a recession. I unfortunately I don't want to see it, but I think that's where we're heading. So I think that was all I wanted to talk about.
So what are you doing to prepare?
Pretty much like I said, man. I mean, we're stocked up for about 3 weeks worth of food. We've always got cleaning products on hand. The only thing we didn't stock up on was toilet paper. But I mean,
Well,
I laugh at it, but it's
as
just
Roy
sad.
said, and myself, that you really don't need it.
You don't
because,
need it. You don't.
Yes,
don't
it's
need it.
disgusting. I mean, I get it. I
Right.
totally get it.
But
That
you do
it's
what you gotta
disgusting
do.
that
I mean-
we have the possibility that we have to put our ass under the sink and wash it.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely. We don't. It's not a life or death sentence. It's not. And that's the thing. We didn't go to the store. I mean, we go every 2 weeks to buy groceries because that's when our paydays fall. So it's not like we went just to do that, but we're focused on trying to buy just food. I mean,
right.
we do the Walmart where she goes online, she puts everything into a cart, pays for it,
Yep.
and sets a delivery time for us to go there, and we pull up to the side of Walmart, they bring it out. She sent me a screenshot this morning. Over half the order was canceled because they didn't have anything. So she had to spend like 5 hours today trying to get to different stores to buy different things, and it's just food. I mean, just normal everyday food that we eat. You
Right.
know? And your video, you made some very good videos. Get your money while you can, definitely, because I can tell you, I can go out usually on a Friday night and easily clear $200. Okay.
Oh yeah.
I made $80 Friday night, and then I made like just under $71 in 8 hours last night.
Yeah, I got lucky with that ride yesterday to the train station, and then I waited for her for 10 minutes. That there was $35. So if I had not had that one, we would be tied. So
Right.
it's just
And I am glad to see that Uber is going to do something if they have to shut the apps down. Or I mean, hopefully nobody gets this virus. We don't want nobody to get it, obviously, but I believe, if I read it right, if they're forced to shut the apps down, they're going to compensate.
yeah.
And it's not like tons of money, but hey, at least they're doing something. And you made a really good point about that, about people that want to whine and complain, because that people are going to bitch and complain. Excuse my language, but they're going to complain.
Yep.
Oh, it's not enough money. It's not. Well, at least they're giving you something, because, like you stated, independent contractors, they don't have to give us a dime.
Right.
So at least they're doing that to try to help. So I haven't seen anything from Lyft yet as well. But,
They're doing it because I did see it
Yeah.
on the news. They
Oh,
are doing it. They
did.
just have not announced nothing.
Okay.
And that's typical of Lyft. They won't tell you shit. They just
Yeah.
make you guess. But we're having all these companies going into major debt. Amazon,
Yeah.
Uber, Lyft, Bite Squad, Grubhub, all of them are
Right.
stepping up to the plate, and they're doing the right thing. I get that. But what's going to happen when we come out of this is we're going to have so much debt.
Yeah,
And if people who are on this channel have ever listened to a podcast with Getta, she will tell you and has told you that the Federal Reserve they have to create debt in order to create money,
right.
right? So in order for we can't, I mean, yes, we can just print money all day long like a regular printer, but in order
Right.
for the economy to go the way she says it's supposed to go in accordance with Agenda 21 is we have to create so much debt so that banks have more loaning and borrowing power, and everything just
Right.
gets messed up. Now, we don't operate our checking accounts like that. If we have zero, we have zero.
Yeah.
Yes, we can
Exactly.
create debt with Chase Bank and say, okay, I need to pay my rent. Here's $200 overdrawn. We can do that.
Right. Right. But
But
we
our
can't go trillions
responsibility
like
is to go
we can.
and pay them back. And at
Yeah.
some point, Chase is going to say, no more overdraws into the bank. And you deposit it. Yes, they type in on the computer $100, but when it goes for processing, it's actually $1,000.
Really, I didn't know that.
Right. It is.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's quite interesting.
So what happens then
Man.
is that $1,000 gets pulled into the system as created debt, and now the banks can loan money based on this more or less falsified deposit.
Falsified deposit. Yeah.
You only
Wow.
see
I didn't know
$100 in
that.
your account, but they actually,
Right.
when they process, it actually goes to $1,000. So if you type in,
Wow.
if you put in 10,000, now they have 100,000. And the Federal Reserve, of course, is a private institution, is not
Yeah.
a government-owned agency. And so now we
Right.
have all this all the time.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And so now what's going to
Yeah.
happen is with this virus, now they have an excuse to really muck up the economy.
Yes. Absolutely. And that you bring up a good point about, with what these companies are doing with going into debt. What's going to happen when we come out of it? That's all the questions. It's like that need to be answered. But yeah, going back to like what I'm going to do, basically what we're doing in prayers, we just the same stuff we always do. Keep the house clean, keep the cars clean, make sure we're washing our hands like we're supposed to.
Right.
Definitely this new thing that was brought to my attention today with the gas pumps. It's small things like that we sometimes forget about.
Right.
Small things like that. Like, hey, I'm at the gas pump, where how many people have touched this nozzle?
Right.
Stuff like that, and not to do it to do like a massive freak out, but we have to be prepared, and we have to caution ourselves. And that's it's just getting rough, and of course people's health is priority in my opinion, and with the insurance, people that aren't insured, I mean, if they have this, the government needs to step up and help. I mean, you can't just let somebody just die.
Right.
It's sad, and but I don't know. I do definitely see a mandatory quarantine happening. That much I can say. But the economy is definitely going to be wiped out.
Roy,
We're definitely going to see.
Roy,
Okay.
you got to love Roy. He says, I don't see a lot of people coming out. LOL. I seeing a lot of people dying from constipation because they had to eat toilet paper. And that is so true. I mean,
it is though.
they eat Tide Pods.
Yeah, right. I mean, he's got he's right. I mean, he's got a point. But it's like, I mean, I'm not saying that we should always, when I say be prepared, I'm not saying that we should have 10,000 rolls of toilet paper at our house at all times. I'm not meaning that.
Right.
I'm talking about your basic cleaning things, bleach, Lysol, things like that, that, hand sanitizer, we got to have those things. I mean, all the time. I mean, that's, you got to keep proper hygiene. I mean, that's just,
You should be doing
But-
that every single day. You got to wash that
Exactly.
ass. You got to
I
get that
love that
soap.
video.
You got to get that soap all up in that crack, guys. I'm not kidding you. You got to
I know.
you got to dig that soap way into the crevices and the caves of your ass. Okay?
Oh, man.
That ass has got to be totally like foaming with antibacterial dial. That's all you need
Yeah.
is dial or ivory. You don't need no fucking Dove or what is it, Bath and Body Works, none of that. You just need dial. Ram it in there like a car accident.
Ram it.
A head-on collision with the asshole.
Oh my
Right?
God, that's funny. Yeah, you're right, dude.
I mean, and I tell
But
people
no,
all the
I mean-
time that say, oh, toilet paper, toilet paper. I say, look, if nothing's going into your mouth, nothing's
Ain't
coming
nothing
out of your
coming out the
ass.
That's right. That's right.
You got to eat.
So you gotta eat. You gotta eat, man, and that's the thing. I did see plenty of water today. I did see plenty of water, but see, here's the thing too with
I
that
did
too.
too,
I
but it
mean,
depleted very quickly.
drink.
They had 7 pallets of
Oh
water,
yeah,
and it was gone.
yeah, but you can drink out of the faucet. What's wrong with faucet water? Especially if you have a purifier on it.
Right. And
Virus isn't in the water with the chlorine. I mean, chloride, whatever. It filters it. I mean, I see why people are buying it, I guess, but it's just we're not preparing for like a massive hurricane here.
no.
So, but I don't know. I mean, the biggest thing right now, of course, on top aside from health, for our families, friends, is the economy, definitely.
Yep.
And I can see that Disney, all these parks, probably one way they'll recoup their money is by jacking up the price of tickets, and then you're gonna have people not gonna be coming down for vacations more like. I mean, you're still gonna have that,
Right.
but you're gonna have the same amount, probably not. Because the tickets, as you know, are pretty expensive already. If you're just buying it, if you don't have an annual pass, and you're just buying like a 3-day or 1-day park hop, whatever it is.
Right.
If you start jacking those prices up to try to recoup your money.
Well,
Of course,
people are
Disney,
getting shitty because of well,
Yeah.
if the prices weren't so high, they wouldn't close. It's not the prices. It is not any of that. What I'm telling you what it is it's very simple. They don't want to be liable legally for any type of lawsuit. And that's what
Right.
all these companies
Absolutely.
are doing. These
Right.
companies are
And-
saying that, sorry, we don't want to get sued.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know. It's not looking good. That's what I can say.
Yeah.
I will say that. Yeah. I don't know, but I definitely see us being quarantined for at least a week or two. Probably going to see a lot of that going on.
Yep.
I mean, these places are going to be closing up, so what are people going to do? I don't know. We're going to see. I mean, I think we'll have a lot of new updates over the next couple days. I mean, at least everybody's local. I know the governor here in Florida, he did a press when you started your stream, so I haven't quite watched that yet. But, yeah, so... Anyway, I didn't want to take up a lot of your time, but...
Roy just said, my suggestion, if it does start to go down the shithole, pick people you can trust and pair up with to hold down your fort. That is a very good suggestion.
That is absolutely a great suggestion. I agree with that 110%. Absolutely.
And guys, don't tell people that you have food. Don't tell people, oh, I went out and got this, I went out and got... Because...
You're kicking in your doors.
Right. When they run out, they know where to go.
Reading an article now that Advent Health, formerly known as Florida Hospital, is installing outdoor tents to prepare to treat coronavirus patients.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all public beaches, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, closing to help stop the spread. We're up to 149 cases in Florida reported, like you said earlier, with, doctors not testing and things like that.
Right.
Empty shelves spotted across Central Florida as residents stock up. It's just, it's not looking good, Oh, I just realized 43 minutes ago, Starbucks will be temporarily switching to a to-go mode only during this as well.
Right.
So, wow, quite interesting.
Taco Bell did the same thing, dude. They were
Yeah.
saying that they're thinking about closing the dining rooms and just making
Yeah.
it drive-through only.
Drive-through
Also,
only.
Hilton Hotels has issued a memo that stated that they are no longer going to offer the hot breakfast at these hotels, because it's buffet style. And
Right.
you're going to get basically rations in a bag.
Mm-hmm.
And these people are going to be so mad because they're still paying $200 a night for a fucking protein bar and an orange and a fucking juice box in the damn brown paper bag.
Yeah. It's funny you bring that up because it's not funny about the situation, but when I flew up to Memphis, see, I'm a Hilton Honors member.
Yeah.
When I was up there, we still had the breakfast, but I did get the email about that, where they're not going to be doing the breakfast thing as a precautionary.
Right.
And I did see, because there was a bus full of kids there, They were there for like a basketball game or something, and I saw those brown bags you're talking about.
Right.
They had them all laid out on this big table in the main lobby area.
Yep.
So I know those bags you're talking about, but I did get the email from Hilton myself as well. So, yeah.
That's just
But,
something. I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's just crazy. I don't know what
It is.
people are going to do anymore.
I don't know.
And
getting out of
it's been
control.
enough. It has. It's been enough.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
You know.
So, but, well, I'll go ahead and free up the lines for somebody else. But good information. Hopefully everybody's, subscribing, staying up to date. So keep up the good work, man.
All right, I appreciate it.
Stay safe. I mean, I know you know what you're doing. Everybody in the chat, stay safe. You guys know. Keep your hands washed.
Mm-hmm.
Wash that ass.
Wash that ass.
So, yeah, man. So, all right. Well, speaking of that, I'm gonna go stuff my face, but I'm gonna still watch the stream. So, but all right.
All right, guys.
All right. Talk to you later.
All right, so what I want to do real quickly, because I'm old and I need a bathroom break. You see this picture here on the on the screen, and it is so true because, Roy sent that to me today, and look, it could really be a problem with people running out of toilet paper. So, if you see somebody washing out their ass in the garden hose with the garden hose, guys, leave them alone. But I do want to show you something that came from one of my subscribers. I'm sure she won't mind promoting her channel. The channel name is, I'm going to put it in the chat here. I want you all to subscribe to her. Her name is Red. She's really awesome. But she did a walkthrough with Walmart, and it's pretty disgusting how she couldn't even get through the store. They only had one person running the daggone checkout counter, and they had the self-checkouts open. So we're going to go ahead and look at that right now, all right, while I take a bathroom break. And this is just gross. Just gross.
Walmart in Florida. Look at this. They got one self-checkout open. One guy running all those registers. They had only one checkout over here. I think somebody jumped on another one for a minute. Look at the people waiting. This is 10 o'clock at night. Look at this horse crap. Wait till I show you the lolly managers up front. They got that one open. Oh, they opened one more. Look at this. This is so sad. You guys need to go to that self-checkout over there. It's running like fire. Don't sit in this line. I sat in it for 17 minutes. Don't waste your time. Go on the other side. Look at it. Is this not pitiful? Don't be stupid like the rest of these suckers. They got self-checkout running and it's fast as fire over there.
Oh, this isn't a self-checkout line?
Hell no. Self-checkout's over there. They closed this side. They got two lolly managers up front aren't doing a damn thing. I went up there and said, what is the deal? Because they only had one line. I was sitting waiting in 17 minutes. And they're like, ugh. You know, when I manage, I jump down there to get that money. You know?
Right.
But yeah, the self-checkout's open on the other side. This is so sad. Look at the store. Look at the line. Starts here. This is the entrance right there. Okay? And all these people waiting to check out. But if you go through the self-checkout on the side, you get out like really fast. Just minutes. But they closed this one. Hope I can show you these two lolly managers aren't doing a damn thing. It's just inexcusable. This is so pitiful. I guess they went in the back to go hide out. That's so pitiful. The people waiting. Fort Walton Walmart, you are so screwed up. This is inexcusable. I hope Walmart Corporation sees this because this is wrong.
All right, guys, hang on. So, what do you think? Okay, so the lines are back open again. Yeah, that was her experience with Walmart, and that's unacceptable. That they have one person running the whole daggone store, plus the self checkouts. You know what that is, right? That's corporate greed. That's them saying we're not going to staff this motherfucker. We're going to make these people wait. You saw how long the line was. I was in Save-A-Lot today, and I said to the manager or one of the guys, I said, I bet you're getting your butt kicked. And he goes, yeah, we are. I said, well, I guess that's good for the store. And he goes, yeah, but we're not staffed for that. We're a small store. So there's no hiring. There was one cashier open at Save-A-Lot. No, I'm sorry, two, until somebody else came up and opened up a register because the line was getting ridiculous. I will say about Save-A-Lot, if the line gets ridiculous, they will open another register. But they only had like 4 or 5 people working in there. Unload the truck, stocking the shelf, running the registers. It's ridiculous. No, Walmart doesn't give a fuck, Roy. They don't. You know, and it's sad. We're going to make our customers wait because we know they have to come in here. There is no choice. They have to come in here. So we're going to make them wait. And we're going to pay one person to run this whole store. I would quit. I'm sorry, I'd quit. You know? Chris B., you want to call in? Aldi, right. Aldi or Save-A-Lot. Whatever's closer. They're pretty much the same price, right? I did 78 items today for $97. And I got fish sticks and other stuff that my mom told me to get, and of course a lot of the non-perishables. But it's unacceptable. I unfortunately see people being laid off with debt we talked about. Right. Yeah, Steve-O, you need to start shopping at Save-A-Lot or Aldi or both. You're going to get a lot of off-brand stuff, but it's just as good. I have actually had... Okay, hold on. We have a caller. Hello, this is American Truth. And who is this?
This is Christine.
Hey, honey!
Hey, boo.
What you up to?
I just sitting here listening to this and how people are just crazy out of their minds about, well, our government has made everybody crazy out of their minds about all of this.
Right.
We've had other things worse come across our borders besides this coronavirus. This coronavirus only affects people that have weakened immune systems.
Right.
If you have an okay immune system, set it out for 2 weeks and you'll be fine. Self-quarantine yourself. But
Christine, I did have, I'm sorry to cut you off. I did have a writer the other day that said she found it really amazing that teenagers are not affected.
So why did they close the schools?
It's politics, sweetheart. I
know that.
It's a way to create fucking panic. It's a way to get everybody having a tissy fit, and it's a way to create debt and spend money and get everybody looking to the government for help, which will then, I know I keep bringing this up and y'all probably think I'm crazy, which will then fall into Agenda 21.
Absolutely, I
Now,
agree.
I will explain this because it was explained to me by Geta a long time ago. Agenda 21 is the agenda they have for the 21st century. It's not a time frame. And then Agenda 2030 is the 15-year goal for the sustainable development. Right? So we have the 21 where we have the entire 21st century to get this in order, and then we have the 2030 where we have from 2015 to 2030 to get that done. So a lot of people think 2030, oh, well, that'll happen in 2030. That's not what that means. That means that by 2030, we're going to have all these things implemented.
Yep.
You know, and you being an ex-nurse, you already know.
I'm not an ex-nurse. I'm still a nurse. I'm
right.
still licensed. I just chose to take time off to take care of my mom with dementia.
Right. Okay.
But because I don't want to. I've seen too many people thrown away in nursing homes, and I don't want that for her.
Right.
But anyway, Zika was worse. The ADN1. Am I correct on that?
H1N1.
Yeah, H1N1. I'm sorry. Those were so much worse and affected everybody from baby to 99, 108 years old.
Right.
Those were so much worse. And if you look at it, they all fell on election years.
Mm-hmm.
But this one happens to be so much worse. And, they're saying, well, the Republicans are doing this, the Democrats are doing this, that, and the stop.
They want to put this on Trump. What do you think about that? I mean, he's already been under so much scrutiny as it is. Now we have this. He now is challenged with bringing back the economy.
What? No, it's not, Christy. Oh. I
You read the chat
down there.
No, he asked if it was Lisa, and I said, I tagged him. No, it's you. That's what I said.
But yeah, this is all to put all of us under their control.
Right.
And this is just the beginning of it, and it's only going to get worse. Oh, we did it for 2 weeks. Let's try it again, and let's see if we can stretch it out for 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Let's try it again, and then eventually we're going to go into martial law.
Yep. It's already talks of that in New York City. And Hoboken, New Jersey, put out a thing, hang on, that said they're closing. I want to get it right, obviously. They announced a daily 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. curfew in effort to stop the coronavirus. Like it only spreads between 10 and 5? Ridiculous.
100% ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. So, yeah. We already have a lot of cities and things like that trying to shut things down, and it's getting ridiculous. I mean...
And it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. And, none of us are as prepared as we should be.
Right.
I've got a mom that, her belly tells her every hour that she's hungry, and she goes into the kitchen and makes more food.
Right? with no consequence. I mean, because we as Americans are used to being able to buy more when we run out, and there may be a problem of getting more food in, especially for quarantine. You cannot leave.
Right.
I don't think
And
people
that
see the
that's
consequence.
what scares me the most. If they say tomorrow we're in quarantine, I'm screwed.
Yeah.
And there's nothing out on the shelves. I've been to Save a Lot, I've been to Aldi, I've been to Publix, I've been to Walmart. There's nothing on the shelves.
Is that so?
Yeah, in my area.
Uh, Roy says it makes sense because most people are at home by 10 from work and go out gatherings, bar, restaurants, and such. True, so true. We're used to coming home, getting changed, letting the dog out, eating a little, supper, giving the wife a little pickle tickle, and we're right on back out. And I think what's going to happen is if they announce martial law or some type of quarantine, we're going to have a massive riot or a potential problem on our hands.
Absolutely. I can see it happening in Chicago, New York, Los Angeles. I can see a lot of riots happening down in Miami. Hell, probably even to St. Pete.
Yep.
But
What are
that's
you
why I
doing
don't
to
live that far.
prepare?
What am I doing to prepare?
Right.
Well, I've already got cleaning supplies.
Okay.
I always have cleaning supplies. I didn't buy any. No, there was a few things there, but I already got cleaning supplies. I got some rice. I've got some, spaghetti noodles. I got some pastas, and then I already have a stack of, like canned chicken and stuff like that I can put different flavors into, and and I do have, a few things where I can cut the roast and make 2 meals out of it instead of just one whole meal, and things like that, where I can split it instead of saying, okay, this is going to be, and then we'll eat off the leftovers. No, I'm going to cut it up and I'm going to make it into 2 separate meals
Right.
and things like that.
Yeah.
I'm not.
You guys should listen to Christine here because I'm not going to say she's old, but what I'm going to say is that she has a lot of techniques that are based on like the Great Depression cooking. She can tell you how to stretch meals and make things last over, say, a box of pasta or, a box of rice or something. Like today, I bought 4 things of macaroni and cheese at 49 cents, and it requires milk. And the cashier said, you don't have any milk. And I said, I don't need any. A little bit of extra butter, you got the creaminess. That's all you need. Water goes a long way. It's not the same as milk, but you can make the macaroni and cheese with water. And that way you don't have a gallon of milk in the refrigerator spoiling because you can't drink it fast enough. We don't drink a lot of milk. So, I bought 4 of those, just because I'm not trying to be a pig at the store and take all the macaroni and cheese that, so nobody else can have some, but I'm not going to go out and buy milk. And Christine will tell you there's a lot of things you can do that you can make meals last a lot longer, and how to preserve those meals so you can eat a lot longer off the same resource.
Then, well, my dad was a Vietnam veteran, and so a lot of people wouldn't hire him. And my mom, she grew up with 6. She was one of six children, and so that's how I learned, is through Grandma and my mom, as to how to make one piece of meat into 4 different meals.
Right.
Where one person will put slap a big old piece of roast in a crock pot and say, hey, we got food.
Yep.
And you cut up that roast, 2, 3 different times and say, hey, I got 3 meals.
Beans.
And as long as,
What do you think about beans?
Beans, I love beans. I love, and I'll soak them overnight, and I've made I got my frozen ham bones and ham meat from a 15 bean soup, and stuff like that.
What ideas do you have for beans?
Well, there's all kinds of things you can do with beans. Beans and rice, black beans and rice. Throw a little bit of onion on that, and of course you got your spices in your cupboard. You can cook to taste, and you're good to go. I mean, you don't have to be perfect in your meals as long as it tastes good and it's sustainable. You can do it.
Right. That's good advice. And slow cookers are great. Pressure cookers are great. Let's see, what else? It's a good idea to have things that you can do like on a barbecue grill in case you can't pay your power bill and it gets turned off, or your water bill. So you might want to stock up on some basic wood to light the barbecue grill so you have heat to cook. That way you can heat up your little beanie weenies, or you can do your beans or whatever you want to do. Basically...
Well, I have a gas grill that has where I can cook. In fact, with Irma, I cooked all of my meals outside on my gas grill. We always have a couple of backups because of all the hurricanes that have been trying to come through here the last few years. And so, I've cooked meals outside when I had no power inside. I cooked spaghetti on the grill because, I have the pot. And then I put another pot on inside the grill on one of the burners. And, hey, it was good.
Right.
It was real good.
Yep. We have a cast iron Dutch oven, and we can do chili. And what we do is we make our chili in the Dutch oven, and then when it's about ready, we put the cornbread batter on top. So when it's done, the cornbread's fully cooked, and below that is the chili. We pull that off the fire, and now we have cornbread and chili in the same daggone pot.
There you go.
Yep. And you can eat for hours on that shit.
Yeah, you can. Oh my God, that sounds good.
We did that a lot when we were in the RV because we could basically put that on a heat source and then... Shut up! Shut up. You're going to go back to the pound.
Well, you're going to have to send me that recipe.
I will.
I gotta go. I gotta go check on Mom and stuff.
All right, hon.
All right. Thank you for letting me talk.
Oh,
Y'all
anytime.
Have a good night.
Anytime.
Y'all have a good night.
Y'all too. Bye.
Bye.
So Christine is, trying to prepare the best she can, and we exchange recipes and things like that. So, hey, guys, whatever you can do, that's what you can do. All right. We have dogs barking because they're ready to play. Reba, hey, come here. Come on, come say hi. Up here. Hurry up. Get up here. Hey, get over here. Get up here. Reeves, come on. Get up here. Hey, come on, Eddie. Come on. Roy, call into the Google Hangouts. Roy, call that number. Roy. Who the hell is this? Oh. I'll read that later. Yeah, call that number there, the 813 number, Roy, because the other one's hard to put on the microphone. Hello, it's American Truth.
Yes,
Who is this?
you know who it is. Come on, man.
I know who the fuck it is.
The greatest man ever alive.
Right. What's
Yeah, I
that?
told you I only have a phone. I can't read the chat and talk at the same time. So
That's all right. I'll read the chat for you if there's anything interesting.
yeah, right. So where's Omar? Omar better be here because he wants me to call him.
Yeah, he's here.
He better be.
He said, "Okay,
So
Roy, you're next."
Okay. So what y'all want to know?
Well, what are your thoughts, man? What do you think's gonna happen?
What are my thoughts going to happen? As far as I think everybody will sooner or later have to stay home. That's pretty much what's going to happen.
Okay.
Because at some point, everybody's going to end up with it. It's going to be like the regular flu. I know everybody keeps referring to it as a flu, which it's not. But everybody sooner or later is going to end up catching it. It's just going to be like the flu. You're just going to catch it, and you're going to have to deal with it when you catch it, just like any other sickness.
Right.
It's just a new sickness. Everybody sooner or later is going to come in contact with it and have to deal with it. But the only reason why, and I know everybody's freaking out, oh my God, they're locking it down. The reason why you got to lock it down is because you can't have a large amount of people getting it all at once.
Right.
If you get a lot of people getting it all at once, you're going to overwhelm the healthcare system. The healthcare system only has so many beds, and you can't have an influx of tens of thousands of people sick at one time in these beds because you're not going to have beds for them.
Right. You'll
So
be in a
the
situation like China where they're having to build 36 hospitals in 3.5 days.
Exactly. So the slower you close things down, so the slower it spreads, the more ability the healthcare system has to catch up and keep up with the people that do catch it and the people that need the actual intensive care type, management. So that's why everything's being closed down, locked up. The gatherings are being closed, schools, because you don't want a huge amount of people at one time, getting smashed with it because your healthcare system can't handle it. No healthcare system could handle it.
Right. That's a good point. And so the shutdowns are going to do what to the economy while people are waiting for this thing to pass? Because,
Well, it's going to fuck up the economy, but that's one of the prices you kind of have to pay. You're going to have to you're either going to want, you're going to have a lot of people. Let's say you keep everything open, everything's going, you get this huge influx of people to catch this. Healthcare system can't keep up. And then you're going to have a lot of dead-ass people because a lot of people are going to die because they can't get the health care they need. So you're taking a risk. What's more important, your economy or human beings?
Right.
That's the difference. That's what you got to look at. What's more important, the humans or the fucking money?
Right.
So of course it's going to take a hit, but it's that or have a bunch of dead people.
Yep.
That's what that boils down to.
What do you think is going to happen to your job and things like that?
I as far as my job, they're already taking precautions with no contact delivery stuff. So
Okay.
but sooner or later, I think even deliveries are going to be stopped because they don't want people out driving around, contacting other people that may not have it or do have it. So sooner or later, even I think deliveries, I'm giving it 3 weeks before they even stop that.
Really?
So, I think so.
Have you noticed a decline in deliveries or tips?
Oh yeah, for sure, yeah. Pizza delivery has been real slow. Jimmy John's has been real slow, and I already told you about the one place that I delivered to at Jimmy John's. So,
Right.
Yeah, it's been real slow actually. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, what do you suggest that people do right now?
Like I said, I'm getting tired of saying people should do anything because people don't fucking listen. That's the problem. You guys, there have been over a month to 2 months now, people have had the opportunity to prepare themselves. And that's not mean go buy toilet paper and cleaning supplies. Like I said, you ain't fucking eating.
Right.
A big ass bag of rice is less than fucking $5. A big bag of beans is less than $5. You can get cans of tomato sauce, make your rice and beans taste good for 25 cents a can. So there's no excuse that I don't have enough money. I live in my car, and I have enough stuff that would last me no problem for at least a month minimum.
Okay.
So there's no fucking excuse for people to sit there and say, "Oh, I think I'll be fine." Well, if they decide to lock you down like they want to do, or they're probably going to do, to sit there and say, "I only have a week's worth of food," that's on you. You've had 2 months. You buy coffee. You go out, buy your Starbucks, you buy your little hamburgers at McDonald's at the dollar menu. You can afford $5 for a big bag of rice.
Right.
There's no excuse. So really, buying all this wipes, Lysol, all that shit's expensive. All that shit can be made. I already told you guys how to make hand sanitizer the other day in my life.
Yep.
It's no different. It's no different than making bleach. You can walk down to the pool section of Walmart and buy bleach tablets for your swimming pool that will turn into bleach for your house.
Right.
There's so many ways you can make this shit instead of buying this expensive shit already pre-made. That will save you money.
Yep.
Or like I said, you can't find it. So there's no excuses.
That's right. And you just made a good point that people are never prepared. They just kind of live day by day.
Yeah, exactly. Because they think it's always going to be there for them. And they're going to be the ones that are knocking on other people's door, hungry, looking for food. And, that's going to be the ones that go eat your toilet paper now. That's what you wanted to buy. So, or you're going to get a bullet in your fucking face because, I'm not, like I said, come to my house. If that shit should go down, come near me or my mom's house, yeah, you're going to get a bullet in your fucking face.
That's right.
I ain't playing those fucking games.
Nope.
I checked my mom's house to make sure she had enough stuff. She could go at least 2 months, no problem. So, you know what? So there's no fucking excuse for it to not be prepared. And just by cleaning your car, cleaning yourself, that's not going to keep anything from happening to you if you get it or
Right.
you get put on lockdown. Yeah, you can have the most spotless motherfucking house in the world, but if you ain't got nothing to eat, you're done.
That's true. That's
The whole
very
thing-
true.
The whole thing with buying up all the water. You got those little windmills, probably. I'm sure you guys got those little windmill things. You can go buy your own 25 cents for a gallon of water.
Right.
You can take all your plastic jugs, your 2 liters, whatever, that you drink it out of, and fill them up with water. So there's no reason to go buy pre-made bottled water. That's fucking retarded. Or like I said, pay $20 for a filter and put it out of the tap. It's not that hard.
Right.
But people want to go out and hoard stupid shit. Like, dumb.
Right, guys, buy the Brita filter. Get yourself gallons of water from the machines.
Yep.
And
Exactly.
fill up your tub. Fill up your tub.
You don't have to go that far now, but because like I said, the virus ain't gonna affect your water. It ain't coming through your water system. It ain't coming through, so there's no reason not to drink your tap water. If you don't like the way it tastes, buy some goddamn Kool-Aid, some powdered Kool-Aid, and put it in there. You make it taste whatever you want.
Right.
So there's just no fucking, you can buy packs of Kool-Aid for fucking 25 cents.
Yep.
So too many people got this excuse, I don't have no money, I don't have this or that. They're making excuses. There's no excuse.
Yeah, I mean,
There's so much.
good example. I spent my $150 that I had, reserved for my car, and I went out and bought groceries because I'm not playing.
Yeah.
I'm not playing. I can get that later if they take the freaking car. They take it, but I'm not going to starve.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they're not going to probably take your car because, their government signing, they're signing stuff to help you out.
Oh, they
So,
probably will. I owe a few months. Yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, like I said, if the government starts helping out, which they probably will, I saw a bill they were supposed to sign to help people out. Said shouldn't get that bad. But
Oh,
at the same
okay.
time, Just something you got to prepare for. And the people that are lazy and think shit's going to be given to them, those are the ones that don't want to prepare. That's a plain and simple.
Right.
So they think somebody's going to be there to give them shit. And that's not how it's going to work. Because when the shit does go down, trust me, you ain't getting shit out of me unless I am very close to you or I feel sorry for you. And you know me, I don't feel sorry for a lot of people when you have conflict there.
Right.
So, it's going to be me and my family first and fuck everybody else.
Right. And that's the way it's going to be with everybody. So, guys, when you go to the store, you have to be prepared for people to fucking confront you and say, you're not getting that toilet paper. I'm taking that.
Yep. And you already see how people are. Look how they're hoarding this shit.
Yep.
So you know it's all about their people are all about themselves. They ain't looking to help nobody.
They sure ain't.
So they're buying all this shit up for themselves. And they're going to be the first ones to pay that price when the time comes because people see you bringing that shit into your house.
Yep.
People know if they don't see you coming out of your house, they know something's up with you. And that means they know, well, they must have enough stuff that they don't have to should that ever come.
Do you think it will come to that?
It may. You lock down people. You put a whole city on lockdown for 2 weeks where nobody can go out and do anything. Something's gonna happen.
Yep.
Just like we said, people aren't prepared. Once people start getting hungry, and their kids are starving, their family is starving, people are gonna go through mad lengths to do whatever it takes. Plain and simple.
I agree.
And that means go out, rob your house, and shoot you to get that food for their kids. They're gonna do it.
Yep. Or, like Lisa just said, steal your cart.
Yeah. Yeah, they can do that too, but, you won't be able to go out and get carts because you're on lockdown. So
Right.
It doesn't matter. This time it's going to be your house.
Yep.
So,
That's what Chris was saying. We're going to hide the water and put it in a safe location because when shit hits the fan, they will bust down your daggone garage door and come in and see what you got.
Yeah. Unless you're prepared with the pistola.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have one of those, and I have 2 pit bulls.
Yep. They're going to be more. Bodies going to be piling up outside that garage door. I'll see that way.
And I promise you, you do not want to get bit by those 2 pit bulls. No.
Yep. But as far as the comparing it with the flu, I'm tired of hearing that shit because it's not anything like the flu. It creates a whole different disease than the flu. And also, you got to remember, this is brand new. You got about 130,000 cases. The flu's been around forever.
Well,
So
I would like to say this, just real quick, though, that the coronavirus is a genus of influenza. So it's a genus is very similar to, say, human, dog, cat. We're all under the mammal category. So, yeah, the coronavirus is a type of flu, but this is a man-made type of flu because there is HIV DNA in the virus, and that does not happen under natural conditions. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know where that shit came from. Where the HIV shit comes from. I don't know.
It's man-made.
I haven't seen any of that in there.
There's biological weapon posts out there about China saying the U.S. military is responsible for it, and then there's also posts saying that China's responsible for it, and everyone's saying that it came from the wet market in China, and it could have, but with the fact that this DNA is so weird, I don't think so.
I don't. Like I said, I've been keeping up on that on the regular, and I haven't seen anything about HIV. The HIV shit at all.
Well, they're using HIV medicine to try to.
Yeah, to try to. What the HIV medicine is, it's there to help the immune system. That's why they've been doing it, because it helps the immune system. That's what it does with AIDS.
Right, they're using it as an antiviral, though.
Yeah, well, you got to try something. Medicine is medicine. So.
Right.
And if you got people with low immune systems, if you give them the AIDS medicine, it helps boost those cells so they can handle it better. That's what it's being used for.
Right.
To boost their immune system, because any immune person that doesn't have a good immune system, you give them the HIV medicine, it's there to boost their immune system.
Right.
So that's what that's being used for. And if it works, and if it works with help fighting it off, then it works. That doesn't mean it has HIV in the actual virus itself. It just means, you're boosting people's immune system to be able to help them to cope with the disease better.
Right.
But as far as it being where, who do you blame? You blame China. They're the ones doing this nasty shit with these nasty animals.
Right.
You see those markets, they're fucking gross. And, all it takes is that one animal to drip onto the next animal, and you eat the animal, and guess what? We're all fucked.
Right.
And that's what happened. So you blame China because that's where it came from, and that's where 99% of these diseases come from is China because of their gross practices. They have no, what is it? It's not like we have the Food and Health Administration. They don't have that shit there.
Right.
So they can do whatever they want with these animals, cut them up in the middle of the fucking street, and squirt blood everywhere, and so that's where this shit comes from. You blame China. You don't blame nobody else but China.
Well, and you have a point because the way they stack those animals in the wet market, all the feces and the animal droppings just go from one to another right on down.
Exactly.
So now we have chickens spreading poop to other animals, and then of course people buy the animals and they eat them, and yeah, we're fucked.
Exactly. So that's who you blame. You blame China. China just don't want to get blamed because it's usual China. China's all government controlled. So
right.
Of course they're gonna blame somebody else. Why would they want to be the ones blamed for it? So,
yeah. That's very true.
But yeah, as far as the ride share, chances are they're probably going to let those down too, where they're going to close those apps down so you can't be driving around people, and because they want to limit the exposure as much as possible. Doesn't matter how well you clean your car, all that person has to do is sneeze on you and you're done. So
right.
You could have the most spotless car in the fucking, your car could have scrub and bubbles sitting right on the dash, and you're still going to get it just because somebody sneezed on you. So when everybody says, "Oh, I clean my car so well and wipe it down," that don't mean dick. All it takes is that person to cough on your neck, sneeze on your neck. So just people talking alone spit.
Right.
So that's all it fucking takes. So, to sit there and say, "Oh, I clean my car so good," that means dick.
Right.
And as far as people, and I was one of the ones that said, "Don't pick up at the airport," because, like I said, you're at a large risk of a large group of people that may have it. Yeah, you can get it from the guy at the bar, or the girl at the restaurant. Yeah, you can get it, but what's your chance of getting it from that one person versus the thousands of people that possibly have it at the airport? So that's why you don't pick up at the airport, because you're increasing your risk by 1,000 times versus picking up the person at the restaurant.
Right.
So, if I put you in a room with one person and I tell you, okay, somebody may shoot you with a paintball gun, I put you in a room with that one person, or then I turn around and I put you in a room with 1,000 person and say somebody might shoot you with a paintball gun. You don't know where that paintball coming from with that 1,000 people. You know if it's coming from the one person. So,
right.
So the risk of you getting shot by the one person versus the risk of the room with 1,000 people. What's the bigger chance you're going to get shot with the paintball gun? The risk with 1,000 people. The room with 1,000 people in it.
Right.
That's how it works. So why put yourself in that position to get the higher risk individuals versus the lower risk individuals? It's risk versus reward. That's all that boils down to.
You're right. I don't know.
And, and like I said, if you don't feel it's going to affect you that much, and you want to take the risk of picking up the airport, pick them up. They haven't stopped anybody anyway. So who cares? Why be that one? If you already see 180 people at the queue, why do you want to go there?
Right.
First of all, you're not going to make money because you're going to be sitting there all fucking day. Second of all, obviously the airport's not hurting for fucking drivers. So go make your money somewhere else. Pick less risk. Go somewhere else.
Right.
Don't sit there and dick around. So,
very good point.
Exactly. And people got this mindset right now. Oh, it's not going to hurt me, or oh, I'm not going to be the one to get it, or I'm going to get. Those are the ones that usually get. Those are the ones that are always not prepared, and there's the ones that are going to get it, and then be whining when they do have it, or they're going to be hurting when they do have it. So.
Well, I saw an article the other day that said health experts are anticipating 240 million Americans are going to get this. Doesn't mean they're going to die, but they're going to get this, and that is about 80% of the population.
Exactly, and here's how I look at when people compare it to the flu. What I think there was 31 million cases of the flu last year here.
Yeah.
And how many people died from it? 15,000 they say. Okay. Let's take those numbers. Okay, write those numbers down. All right, now you got 120. Let's say you got how many cases was here? 100 and some. With what? How many deaths were there? 15 or 20 deaths with 100 and some cases.
What, currently the coronavirus cases?
Yeah.
There's about 2,300 cases last I looked.
And how many people have died?
50.
Okay, so you got 50 people. Okay, now for every so start dividing. So start adding that up. So so you got 2,350 dead. Okay, go up to 4,500. Now you got 100 people dead.
Right.
You keep going up by those numbers till you reach up 31 million, and see how many people you have dead at that point. So those are the way you got to look at the numbers. And people want to keep comparing it to, we've only had 50 dead, but 2,000 cases. Okay, what happens when those cases start to get into those millions?
Right.
And millions and millions. You're going to have a lot more fun than death. And you can't tell a death rate of any kind of disease until the disease has run its course.
Correct.
So until everybody has had an opportunity to catch it, and until it's under 100% control, you can't give a death rate. All you can do is go by the numbers. And the numbers right now in the U.S. would be for every 2,300 people, consider 50 people die from it. And then just keep going up that number until you reach the number of people that have the flu, and then compare them and see what the numbers are.
Right.
I bet you're damn near either you're going to be same as the flu, or it's going to be exceedingly more than the flu.
Right. We have nearly 175,000 cases right now, approximately, with about 6,000 dead.
Yep. So go by those numbers. Divide that 100 and how many worldwide flu cases are there. Take that number, divide it by the current amount of cases, and then that number times that by the amount of people that have died, and that'll give you a good idea of the death rate of this new one versus the flu.
Right.
So that's why when people keep saying, it's the flu, that's why I keep telling people, quit fucking comparing it to the flu, because you can't. Because right now it has a death rate of almost, 3.5 to almost 4% death rate?
Yeah, I think it's
the flu is only what? And the flu is 1.5. So that means it's already, by the little numbers we have now, it's already surpassed the flu as far as the death number.
Right.
So people keep saying, it's not as bad as flu, or no, it's different. It's different than flu. Like I said, it also causes a different disease than the flu.
Right.
It's called ARDS, and anybody in the health industry knows what that is: acute respiratory distress syndrome. It's totally different than just your average fucking flu. So,
yep.
So,
very true.
That's why every time I hear that, it's the flu. Who cares how many people die from the flu? We have shots for the flu. We don't have shots for this.
Right.
So,
although magically there are countries like Canada and I think I want to say Ireland or Spain or somebody now have vaccines that they're testing, like real quick.
Well, that's not that. And I find
it
that
doesn't
hard to
take. It takes longer than that to create a vaccine for the different types of viruses. Sorry.
Anybody that's coming out saying they got a vaccine or medicine to try, no, they're full of shit.
Right.
They're full of shit. They're just trying to, not hurt people's feelings. That's all that is.
Yep. It's going to take at least a year to develop it because they have to isolate the DNA pattern, and then they have to figure out how it's going to infect different type of humans. So, for instance, I'm not trying to be racist, but sickle cell anemia primarily affects people with darker skin. Right? So if a white person gets sickle cell, now we have a problem because there's a different a genetic pattern there. So now we have to figure out how where that's going to go. So
exactly. Well, and a perfect example is look at all those commercials for medicine.
Right.
On TV. Some people may die. Some people may have this, may have
Cancer,
that. So,
suicidal thoughts. Yep.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So they're full of shit.
Idiots.
The best thing to do is, chances are, like I said, most of us are going to end up catching it at one point, and it's just going to be like any other, like, it's just going to be like the cold. Everybody's going to catch it sooner or later.
Yep.
Plain and simple. You know? Because it's gotten to the point now where you can't technically stop it. The only way you're going to stop this disease is you put everybody in their homes. Nobody can go nowhere for a minimum of 2 to 3 months. That way all the cases that are current burn themselves out, and any new cases from that 10-day grace period of when you show symptoms from that, they all burn out. That's the only way you're going to stop it. And, you know, that's how it's going to stop. That's how you can stop it. But, you know, to put everybody in lockdown in the house for 3 months, you'd have anarchy and craziness.
You bet it. Yep. You bet it.
But
got
that's
it.
the only way you're going to stop it. That's the only way you can stop it is to put everybody in lockdown and then let the cases they have burn themselves out, and that ends it at that point. That's it. But that's never going to happen. So the main thing now is you just got to get it under control to spread slowly so you don't overwhelm the healthcare system, and it'll be just fine.
Yep.
But in the process, you're going to have to, you know, limit the amount of people that are, you know, getting it all at one time, which means you got to stop going to the movies. You're going to have to stop going to large gatherings. And so far, in my eyes, they're doing the right thing. You know, is it going to fuck the economy? Sure it can. But at the same time, it looks like they're doing the right thing to me by shutting this stuff down.
Yep.
Just in case, you know? So.
Well, you
questions?
definitely have provided
questions?
some real input, and everybody loves your input, of course. And you know, you really make a lot of sense. You know, when you say it's common sense, everything's common sense.
Yep.
You know.
You know, and then, like I said, man, anybody has any questions there that they want answered, and I showed you like the whole Lysol, and you know, I sent you a picture of the stuff that I bought.
Right.
That people are losing their mind because I can't buy wipes, I can't find Lysol, I showed you a picture of what I bought. Got it from a tattoo shop. See, these are the things people, you know, if people need help, I've always given people the opportunity to contact me if they need help with something. If they can't find something, or it's like I said, it's the same with the hand sanitizer. I told you how to make it. All that, nobody's buying. A lot of that stuff isn't even being bought, or you already have at home. We've all had a fucking sunburn, so you have aloe vera gel at home, hopefully. And you have alcohol at home. Mix the two together, you got instant fucking hand sanitizer.
Right.
It's not that stuff, you know, and I've told people, call me or text me. No, don't call me, text me. I'll help you out. Or email me. I'll help you out if you need some alternative if you can't find something. Like I couldn't find Lysol wipes. I couldn't find all that. So I knew from my days doing tattoos a germicide that kills fucking everything, and I went and bought it, and it cost me $13 for a bottle that'll last me for fucking probably the next year. So, you know, that's just, you know, people need to, if they don't understand it or they don't know, reach out to somebody who's offering the knowledge to you. That's all I can say to people, you know.
Right.
You know, I get on a lot of these rooms and I see people freaking out. Oh, I don't know about this. I don't know that. I can't find this. I can't find that. And then you put on there, here, email me or text me. I'll help you out. You know how many emails and texts have I gotten from people? Fucking zero. So
yeah.
That's why I said I'm getting tired of trying to help people to prepare themselves, because they don't fucking listen anyway. You know, I was one of the first ones, I think, to say, prepare yourself. Get out there and do something. You know, prepare yourself. Buy extra food. Don't buy fucking this. Don't buy that. But yet, how many people have went out of their way to go buy fucking toilet paper or Lysol wipes?
Yep.
You know, so fucking they don't listen. That's the thing. They don't fucking listen, because everybody has that mindset that they know it all, and you know, when the time comes, like I said, you're eating that toilet paper, and I'm eating my rice and beans and whatever else I prepared myself with. Don't fucking come knocking on my door, because I'm gonna laugh at you, and I'm gonna use your toilet paper to wipe my mouth of my rice and beans. That's what's gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen. I don't need fucking toilet paper to wipe my ass. I got a bathtub. I got fucking baby wipes. There's all kinds of fucking things you can do.
That's right.
You know, like I said, I showed like my little bag. I did a video on my little bag.
Yep.
Those big old giant chamois towels I bought it at my car wash for 50 cents a piece. That's almost that's like almost a roll of toilet paper right there
Yep.
to wipe your ass with. So there's multiple reasons you don't need to buy fucking toilet paper. But that's what people are fucking after: toilet paper and hand sanitizer. Like you give them a drink the fucking hand sanitizer or something. I don't know. But I don't know. You could use that's healthy. You don't even need toilet paper. Wash your ass and use the hand sanitizer because you got a ton of that to sanitize your butthole afterwards if you're
Yeah.
worried about that. Fuck, Jesus.
You can also buy paper towels and take a goddamn bread knife and cut that thing in three quarters, and you got toilet paper.
Exactly. I saw paper towels out there for sale today. I didn't find no toilet paper, but I saw plenty of paper towels. So what the fuck, And paper towels actually serve a bigger purpose than just toilet paper. You can use a paper towel to wipe down your shit with, to clean your windows, to clean your, to wipe down your car with. You ain't wiping your car down with toilet paper.
Right.
So you're actually smarter to buy paper towels than you are toilet paper.
Right.
Because it has multiple uses.
Mm-hmm.
But you think people think like that? No, they're gonna go out. You can buy a roll of fucking paper towels for $1, but yet you're gonna go ahead and buy fucking $6, $7, $8 worth of fucking Lysol wipes. Well, if you already have bleach at home or Lysol spray the paper towel, wipe it down on the surface. Look, you got Lysol wipes per $1 now.
Yep.
So the people just don't use their fucking heads, man. They're just so, I don't know. They're just so brainwashed when they see shit on TV, and they don't think. Luckily, I grew up poor, and I'm still poor, so I know how to do these off the wall. Learned how to do these off the wall things that other people apparently that have money or have never been raised to learn to fend for themselves know what to do.
Right.
So I learned that stuff, and so yeah, I can get away with the minimalist stuff that I do have, and I can live a lot better than somebody that just spent $100 on toilet paper and fucking Lysol wipes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's what it boils down to. People that and I've always opened myself up to help people, but nobody's asked for help. So you know what? I'm tired of saying prepare yourself because you're not listening anyway.
That's
so
right.
Why bother? It's like it's just wasting your breath. It's like, well, fuck, I don't know what to tell you. But I'm still open if anybody has any questions or, like I said, just all they gotta do is text me or email me, and I'm good to go.
Right. Yeah. Don't be afraid to reach out to Roy. He'll help you. Just click on the icon in the chat, and you can go to his channel and subscribe, and let him know what you have questions about. So right now, what I want to do.
Here's another channel. Here's a channel I want everybody to go to because I see a lot of misinformation about this. Go to a channel called Peaks Prosperity. Subscribe to that channel. It gives you all the numbers that you need to know what's currently going on and everything else that's going on. So that is the name of the channel. I definitely recommend subscribing to it. They give daily updates on all this stuff that everybody is trying to tell you, but they're telling you wrong.
And what's the channel name?
Peak Prosperity.
Pete?
P-E-A-K. Peak Prosperity.
Okay, cool.
They give daily things on YouTube videos, and it gives you all the numbers of all the stuff, and so it'll help you out definitely.
All right, cool.
All right, cool.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and play this video. We'll end the call. I want to play this video because right now what I'm seeing is America should prepare to hunker down as virus spreads. I want to play that real quick because, and then what we'll do is we'll let somebody else call in after that. And I appreciate your input for sure. That was amazing content, and everybody should listen to Roy because it is basic common sense.
Yep. Okay, cool.
All right.
I go. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right, so real quick, we do have this video I want to share, and let's just see what happens here because this is the first I'm seeing about this. So I'm going to take this off and let's see what's going on because this is fucked up. After we... Well, I guess that was a waste of time because, you know, it is what it is. But, yeah, we should be prepared to hunker down, honestly. All right. So we got the lines open again. Anybody want to call? Real Ride Share Stories wants to call in. The phone's going off the crane. There we go. Roy, thanks for your input for sure. We really appreciate that. That was a lot of good sense, and people should listen to you more often. Dark Road Run, how you doing, buddy? Here we go. This American Truth. Who is this?
Hey, American Truth. This is Dark Road Run. I'm a big fan, long-time listener, first-time caller.
Hey, buddy. How are you doing?
Doing good out here in California. Just got back from the store, and there is still food available at the Safeway I was at. But
how much food?
It's getting to a point where like the canned stuff is pretty well picked through, but there's still maybe a shelf, two shelves worth of soup. It's like it's the flavors that nobody likes.
Got it.
But they also changed all the 24-hour grocery stores have changed to like they're closing their stores at like 6 p.m. Midnight to 6 a.m. They're closing to restock, and so I guess they're getting deliveries every 2 days. The checkout person said.
Oh wow!
But and then also California, the governor announced like instructed like anyone above the age of 65 years old or with chronic health conditions should basically self-isolate right now. So that's the development today. And so that's where I was thinking, like, you know, maybe we could send a message to people in the community of like, if you have a neighbor who is elderly, you know, as above that age group, within, you know, it's like it's going to be tough for them. So maybe if you have some extra cans of food, you know, just drop it off at their door,
right?
And just kind of, you know, it's even if it's just like a can of soup or something like that. It's like the thought that's, you know, it's more than just getting the food. It's like also, you know, it shows that like we're caring about them. So
that's a good point. We have got to be more human.
Yeah.
You know, towards everybody else. And you know, it's a good thought to have, and especially if you know somebody's in trouble or, you know, they might not have enough, give what you can.
Yeah.
You know,
the thought's going to go a long way too. Yeah, just the action of that. It's like,
right.
You know, keeping people's spirits up and this stuff. But
how are you preparing?
I just went through my kitchen, and I have 20 days of food and at 3 meals a day at generous helpings. Here's another thing. So I don't know if like this is purely off of like what makes sense to me, but there's more. Definitely seek out websites of like, you know, where people are trained for survival kits and stuff like that. But I went through all my stuff and laid it out on the table, and I thought like, all right, what constitutes one meal? And I was like, okay, a can of soup or a can of chili, you know, definitely not like some crackers. Like, so I laid out all the essential meals, and I counted them all up to be about 60 or so meals.
Okay.
And then you say, okay, well, 3 meals a day. So I guess that would be 30 days on it. But those are 20. It was 20 days, so 20 times 3, so 40, 60. Oh yeah, so that's my 20 days. Yeah, so 3 meals a day. And you think like, all right, what if you sat down and had lunch and it was like a can of soup? Would you still be hungry after that?
Oh yeah.
And then and then that's how you got to look at your supplies as like, okay, that can of soup is like, that would fill me up. That's one meal. And then you say 3 for a day, and then you find out how many days you have. And last I checked, it was like about 20. So 20 days of that. But I'm going to go, now the question I'm kind of wondering about is, since there's like still technically food in grocery stores, when do I start going into my emergency supply? Should I just, obviously all the restaurants are closed in California. They're only doing delivery.
Are they really?
Yeah, they closed that today. Also, bars and wineries and restaurants are all going on to like, but yeah, it's done for a while. But
that's sad.
So that's and then I also Roy also spread brought a good point about the casinos are basically, you know, that was happened a couple of days ago. The buffets have shut down, but Vegas is getting kind of, you know, shutting down a little bit, taking a vacation. But, so yeah, it's I don't know. I was thinking like what would you say is like the appropriate? Have you heard anything about like how many days we should be preparing for?
2 months.
2 months? Okay. So,
real quick though, Roy says to tell people to self-isolate at this point is ridiculous. As long as there are cases floating around unknown, they would have to self-isolate until the last case is reported, and that is true. Also, he says if you all worried about not having meat or sources of protein during a lockdown situation, then go buy some protein powder. That is correct. And you don't have to go into your stash until you are put into a lockdown and can't go anywhere. That is very, very, very true.
So I should be treating like my food supply at home as like I don't need to start going into it just yet. I guess on it. As long as so I can tell you, as long as I can go to the store and get more supplies and the stuff I definitely like. I should separate. You got to separate the perishable stuff first, and then the stuff that's like the long term. But so we're gonna get through it. We're gonna get through this.
Rideshare Rookie says Uber Eats is to limit hours 9 to 5. Most markets just got an alert.
Oh, really? Oh, man. They're cutting they're putting an hours restriction on it.
What do you think about that?
That's so they're saying 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. is the only times where you can go and pick up to
order.
Uber Eats
yeah.
is going to be.
So why would they restrict, past 5 p.m.? I mean, if restaurants are open and they're booming and they're, making money, why wouldn't you allow takeout?
Yeah, that's true.
That's crazy.
True. Yeah. Maybe to keep the restaurants from like opening the doors to customers after that, or maybe maybe the restaurants are limiting like their hours.
That's a
Or-
possibility. You did hear that Taco Bell was thinking about doing drive-through only.
Oh, really? Yeah, yeah. It's kind of looking that way on a lot of this stuff. Was you know, a lot of changes happened today when California governor made the announcement about the 65 and older. That it's, you know, there's a friend of mine who's Chinese. She's American. She's been living here for like 20 something years now. But she's from China. She has family in China, and she was telling me, like, back in January how bad this stuff was in China, and you know, she told me, like, they were arresting people that out on the streets with not wearing face masks.
Oh wow!
In the Wuhan area,
Mm-hmm.
and even outside of Wuhan area, but you know, they jumped on this thing like it was like a bomb went off, and it's kind of, it, you know, well, I don't want to, like, get on, like, too soon to be pointing fingers or something. It's like, you know, I feel like we as Americans, like, typically we're not really great about having, like, emergency backup plan
You're right.
for this stuff. So, but, you know, if we saw the signs and they were clearly available as of, like, January or February, you know, like February, South Korea was doing 10,000 tests a day. They were ramping up the tests and everything, and we've barely done 1,000 of them. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, we could have, you know, you could have gone to the store 2 weeks ago and bought, you know, Lysol, all the Lysol you want, you know,
Right.
stuff, and toilet paper, and it's just, you know, that's what people got to relax on this. I mean, not to take this not seriously, but this, all the empty shelves and everything. I think this is more the result of, like, nobody has a backup plan and was taking this seriously when they should have. But
Totally. You're right.
So
And we're
it's
all
just
guilty
great.
of it. You know, every
Yeah.
year with hurricane season, I panic. I'm like, oh my God, I don't have any water. Well, I got plenty of crap now.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, because I've learned my lesson. I'm like, you know, why do I keep waiting until there's one heading towards the, you know, the coast of Florida, and I start going, oh my God. You know, I know it comes every year, but we're all guilty of it. You know, why do we all sit around and wait? Because we know as Americans, there's always ample supplies. So when we, you know, when we run low or there's a problem, we just run to Walmart or whatever and get.
Yeah.
And then there's mass panic. It makes the news. No stuff on the shelf. No water. No kitty litter. Whatever. Yeah, it's crazy.
And the real, like, one of the tragedies out of this situation is that we're going to get through this and not learn anything from it. That's we're just going to go back to the way it was. But hopefully, people are going to be starting to make some changes on there. But it's going to be rough. I don't think we're at the worst of it yet. I think with the more tests, there's going to be more positive tests out there. But definitely, like, okay, yesterday, Saturday, the St. Patrick's Day Saturday of it, there was actually surge pricing in the Bay Area on Uber.
There was today, too.
It was, yeah. And it was like, part of me kind of thinks, isn't that like price gouging from Uber's side, that, like, they're, I mean, on the other hand, they're definitely rewarding the drivers that are doing it, going out there at elevated risk right now. But they like, Uber has a history of, like, when there was a terrorist, there was like a hostage crisis in Australia a couple of years ago, and Uber's surge kicked on because everybody was trying to get away from the shopping mall.
Mm-hmm.
The hurricanes have hit, and they've kicked on surge, and it's like, so yeah, I mean, Uber side, it's just so it's going to be what it took in China, though, was, like, they had a population of 1 billion people or over 1 billion people, and it took a massive 100,000 plus quarantine, like closing off a whole city area, for 2 months on that, and they got through it. But you know, like, last night there were still people apparently going out to bars and clubs and saying, like, you know, not taking this stuff seriously. But you know, it's one thing if you can if you're healthy enough to survive the consequences of getting infected. But the thing is, we got to start thinking now is like obviously that's why there's a mandate on like you start showing symptoms on it. So you could walk around for a while without being infecting others on it. That's the scary part on it. But
Well, Chris from Real Rideshare Stories
Yep.
says, what about the theory that they are making a run on toilet paper to protect the food? Went shopping today and things were stocked and good for the most part.
yeah, man, the toilet paper stuff. Gosh, yeah, it's interesting how the media the stories like they focus on which ran out first though, the sanitizer or the toilet paper?
Toilet paper.
I think the toilet paper first. Yeah, but yeah, man, it's what's really the worst. One of the worst stories that's coming out of this that I keep hearing is all the people that are like stockpiling this stuff to sell it to price gouge on eBay and Amazon, and that's just like that's horrible. That is on this stuff. I mean, but it's good. It's good to see these companies like Amazon, and eBay kind of pull those listings down. But
Yeah.
it's so. But anyways, I just wanted to stress as much as possible, like this is not the time to panic. This is basically like we have a grease fire going on in our kitchen, and we're not. The worst thing to do is just run in circles screaming, "Oh, let this thing get out of control."
Right.
We just got to let the emergency people give them the best support that we can get them to handle this. It's why when you're in a car and you see a fire truck with its lights going on, you get out, you move out of the way. It's like you don't go like, oh, I'm going to follow the fire truck and try and help put out the fire. Like, no, it's like,
Right.
You set out. We're just giving them the best chance they have. We have trained professionals and stuff, but we have a limited number of resources, and we just don't want to like do it all at once. So, like 13% of America is over 65 years old. So.
Yep.
It's that's millions, and so there's only like 8,000 respirators in California, and there's over 1 million 65-year-old senior citizens in this. So, but we're gonna get through it, and so stick together as a community, and so. Anyways, Scott, you're doing the Lord's work, man. I appreciate you taking the calls and the concerns and getting the community together here. So this is
Well, I appreciate it. That's what I'm trying to do. We just got to do what we got to do. And try to keep everybody calm and get everybody on the same page. That if you get it, you get it. There's nothing you can do about it. Life should not stop, and we should not shut down the freaking world economy. Because, I get it. We don't want people running out and going, but they do it every year with flu season.
Yeah, If we just adopt like 50% of the precautions we're taking now, if we do that every year, like flu season would have a lot less impact on our society. It's like these are all good things to kind of be aware of. Stay home if you're sick, wash your hands, and it's just. So.
Why is that not a thing now? It's just dumb.
Yes. I know they teach us that when we're kids, and it's just some kind of like disconnects with it. It's like it just turns into this white noise kind of thing. But so not the. I mean, I don't want people going like overboard, being total complete germaphobes on
right.
That. It's like, but there is an extreme on both ends. But I think it's like Japanese culture. People wear face masks in that culture, not because they're afraid of like catching other people's colds and stuff like that. It's because they're sick and they're worried about the community. They don't want to spread it around the community. So
yeah, we can't do the same here.
Right.
We get into Ubers going,
Right. Okay. Yeah.
What's wrong?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sick. Get out.
And you definitely know firsthand, people have no problem turning your car into a trash can.
You're right.
It's like
you're right.
And
how's that van of yours looking? Yeah. Is it still clean and tidy, or is it a trash barrel?
That's true. That's true. And but I've my van is well, it's out of commission right now. I took the Uber stickers off on a couple nights ago, and I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna wait and see. I'm just gonna wait. But
Are
also,
you not driving, or is there something mechanical wrong?
I don't have the supplies. I don't have the sanitizer, the Lysol, or anything to. So it wouldn't be. I don't feel like it would be right for me to drive right now.
I got some. Send me your address. I'll send you some.
Oh yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah. I think I food delivery though. I think that I'm going to take another look at food delivery.
It's
since
booming.
Everybody's ordering.
It's booming.
It is, yeah. Everybody's ordering them from restaurants and everything. So, and I don't know if it's too late to sign up for Instacart. Like if you could do how long the application process is for that. But
I don't recall it taking that long.
Yeah, I'll look into that.
Amazon's hiring too in San Francisco. You can do Whole Foods.
Yeah. Huh. So yeah, I just if you have you just got to be responsible. If you have the supplies to to make this stuff work, and you going out there and you're aware of the risk out there, then it's well again the choice has always been up to us to make that decision. So you can't let anybody tell you like, oh, you should be out there driving or no, you should that's entirely. We are the CEOs of our own rideshare companies.
Right.
It's like we're the executives. So, but I just wonder. I watched Paranormal Activity for the first time last night.
Wow.
And I was thinking like it'd be hilarious if all right, the night I'm going to take all my stickers off my car, and then the next morning I go downstairs and the whole thing's covered in Uber stickers.
Right.
It's like referral codes written on my walls. It's like
You're
the ghost
not
of Uber.
quitting yet.
Yeah. Oh man, that'd be great. They just won't let me. They won't let me deactivate.
Your dark road run. You go out now. Yep.
My phone starts getting requests. It's not even turned on.
Right. Bing, 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 bing.
So, anyways, we're gonna get through this, people, and we got a great community here. Scott's one of the good ones out there. So, thank you all. Thank you, Scott, for doing this. And I'll make way for the next caller. So,
all right,
take care, everybody.
Thank you.
Dark Road Run.
Dark Road Run. Subscribe. All right, guys. So real quick, I do want to do a bathroom break real quick. Sadly, because I'm old, right? But I do want to play this. Make sure I got it queued up here. Because this is going to be about Italy. Right? So we do want to definitely make sure that you guys hear about that, because Italy has one of the most advanced medical systems in the world next to ours. So I do want you to see that while I go to the bathroom. Just a moment.
Positive for coronavirus, marking the first confirmed case among service members stationed in Europe.
Can you all
this
hear
as
it?
the virus continues to spread rapidly worldwide.
Right,
Lucas Tomlinson is live in Washington with more on that. Lucas.
John, Italy is preparing to lock down large parts of the country, Europe's most drastic action yet to stop the spread of coronavirus. Our colleagues at the Wall Street Journal first reported the draft decree, which would take effect tomorrow if approved. More than 10 million people around Milan would be affected. Police and even the army would enforce the quarantine. Italy has nearly 6,000 coronavirus cases. More than 230 people have died there, the biggest outbreak outside Asia. The U.S. Navy sailor tested positive in Naples, about 500 miles away from Milan. Friday, the U.S. military announced its first confirmed case at the headquarters for U.S. forces in Korea after a South Korean employee tested positive on the base. This is the 7th coronavirus case confirmed by the U.S. military in Korea, but so far only one active duty American soldier out of 28,500 troops based there have been infected. Back home, Defense Secretary Mark Esper says he's fully confident the Pentagon could withstand the virus.
We have a lot of capabilities in this building. Our National Military Command Center has the capability to go for weeks at a time if they have to be locked down inside the building if we have some type of outbreak.
Despite the rising threat from coronavirus, U.S. Navy warships continue their missions around the world. After leaving Guam, the aircraft carrier Theodore Roosevelt pulled into Vietnam earlier this week. But warships must now spend at least 14 days at sea following port calls to quarantine the crew. Earlier this week on Capitol Hill, the Navy's top admirals asked this key question.
Do you have test kits?
No, we don't. We don't yet, but that's not just a problem for DOD, but I think that we're getting to a better place in terms of the production to allow us to be able to distribute those out to the force.
At the Pentagon, the head of infectious disease at Walter Reed Medical Center said there's no need to panic.
I think people should recognize at the end of the day, this still remains a low risk infection to not just our service members, but to the American public.
John, there are now just 2 confirmed coronavirus cases in the U.S. military out of 1.3 million men and women in the active duty forces. John?
Worth remembering. Lucas Tomlinson, thank you.
All right. So we do have time for one more caller. Joe was an amazing input for the conversation we're having, and I do appreciate everybody's call-ins. We do have time for one more caller if you want to call in. I do have to go get Chris here in about 15 minutes, so if you want to call, let's go. I'm really enjoying the input from everybody and how everybody is responding to this outbreak, because it's important to know what everybody's thinking and how they're thinking and what is going on with their mind, because this is absolutely very important, because not everybody thinks the way you do. So we've had a lot of great input tonight from Rideshare Lisa, Rideshare Rookie, Dark Road Run. We have not heard from Real Rideshare Stories yet. We do have input from No Crybaby Lifestyle, Roy. We have input from everybody. And it's important to know how everybody is feeling and what they're thinking, because the media does not tell us that, right? So we don't know. Here we go. American Truth. Who is this?
What's going on?
Not much, Chris. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
How's life in New York?
Actually not too bad. Besides the fact that they just decided to cancel school until April 20th.
Wow.
They're trying to close down, or they're telling everybody to stay home, but nothing really in writing or anything.
Okay. Have they moved to an online learning platform?
That's what they're working on, yeah.
Okay.
So they're in the middle of doing that right now, but all schools have been shut down in my county, which is Erie County and Buffalo, Niagara County, all in New York City, I believe, is as well up until April 20th.
Okay.
So pretty crazy going on there. And then, there were 4 more cases in my area added today, so it's 7 total. So it's kind of been crazy. And then, again, the whole shopping thing. The big store around here is Wegmans. I was there probably every day the last, week or so. And when there was that run on, then the whole store just went to nothing. There was maybe 30% of the entire store that was actually stocked. And now I went in there again. Everything's pretty much stocked up except for like the paper towels and the toilet paper, but they have they're limiting out. So yeah, that's the big thing. But nothing too crazy in terms of like massive quarantines or keeping people indoors or anything like that. Just limiting the amount of people that can be serviced. So in like restaurants, it has to be 50%. So they're taking out tables and chairs and things like that.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So like if a restaurant normally has 100 people that it can seat for its occupancy, it can only serve 50 now.
What's going on? I mean, wow. I mean, I
Yeah.
get it, but why? I mean,
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with New York City, because anything that happens in New York City has to go to the whole state. And there's so much going on in New York, and you have such a huge population center. But when you get out of the city, like Buffalo has, I think, like 250,000 people, and throughout the Erie County area, it's only 1 million people. So it's nothing like what it is downstate. But they put in these policies and enact it in the entire state, paying attention only to New York City, really, or catering to them.
okay.
So that's been pretty crazy. But one of the I put in the chat, so I don't know if people saw this or not, but we were just having dinner a little while ago, and my girlfriend was saying that her group chat was blowing up because somebody went into the Supercuts that she works at, who said that they were showing symptoms and went to go get tested today and waiting on the results, yet still going to get their hair cut, and then apparently coughed on the hairdresser. I'd have been like, get the fuck out of here.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I would probably, at that point, like, whether that's a joke or not, that's like saying bomb in a building right now.
Right.
Like, you can't
I mean,
do that.
Yeah, you're right. That's like giving people AIDS with knowing it, but not telling them. I mean, it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's so fucked up. So I'm like, you really need to talk to them, because, one, if that's true, they all have to get tested now, and that'll shut down that entire business or anything around there. And it's just like, even if you're joking, that's fucked up, and now you need to be made an example of, at least in my opinion.
I agree. Totally. I mean,
But-
I was watching Live PD yesterday, and it's a known thing now with these criminals. They go, "Oh, I have corona. I have corona."
Mm-hmm.
The cops are like, "And you're still going to jail?"
Yeah.
I mean,
which is good.
You know, and then they start looking around like, "What if he was serious?" I mean, this is a total like scare. Everyone is so scared, and good reason. But I mean, what are you going to do about it?
Mm-hmm.
If you do get it, what are you going to do?
You're just going to get it. And hopefully you're not going to be somebody who has like autoimmune issues or, chronic respiratory illnesses or, just elderly and unable to kind of cope with it. But for the vast majority of people, we've all been exposed to coronavirus already by the common cold. The common cold is a coronavirus. It's just a different type. And SARS, MRSA, all that stuff is also, and it's just a variation. So the good thing is, if you follow suit with that, it shouldn't be too bad. But if it morphs into something else and it evolves, that's where we can have a real issue. And so, I mean, in my opinion, then I think some of the things that they're doing is a little bit overkill and a little bit out of sorts, but I can also understand why they're doing that. And it's just a lot of unknown variables. So there's so many people out there, we just don't know what's going to happen, where it's going to go, what it can lead to. And I think that's the big thing. But when it comes to food, I've been buying extra stuff probably for about 8 years now.
Okay.
Since I think since 2012, 2013 range, somewhere in there, I started buying, just extra stuff.
Right.
Here and there, I got extra because, one, if you buy extra stuff now that you're going to use later, you're paying today's prices versus tomorrow's prices, so you're going to save money overall. And then if something like this is happening, you can get 2, 3, 4 months worth of food for you, your family, a year, whatever it is, and you don't have to go out, risk price gouging. You don't have to risk not having food or whatever. So if you just get a couple of extra things here and there that you're going to eat, not something that, oh, this is here, I got to grab it, let me grab it, then, if like I said, if something like this happens, it's not that big of a deal if you get stuck in the house.
Right.
But, and then...
that's a good point. I mean, you know, and like I said earlier, I mean, I'm in hurricane season. I never prepare, but I am now.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's a good idea too. And you know, it started with me because I live in a snow belt area, and I got dumped 7 feet of snow in overnight. So we couldn't leave anywhere for a couple of days.
Wow.
Because of that. And yeah, granted, snow can get removed, and it's not too bad or whatever. But I'm like, well, what if something does happen? Because yeah, you had all that. You had the like Ebola, you had SARS, MRSA. You had all those things popping out. It's like, well, if we gotta stay inside for a little bit, you know, I just want to have some extra stuff on hand. So I got a little bit of extra stuff for a couple of months just in case.
Okay.
And
did
yeah,
you
just
say
smart to
earlier
do.
you went to Save-A-Lot?
We were going to, but we ended up going to Tops instead,
Okay.
which is another grocery store down the street.
And how did that look?
Pretty much everything was there, except for it was limited in the amount of pasta they had. There was no sugar, like so. If you wanted a 5-pound thing of sugar, there was none there. And then water wasn't bad. I got 2 packs of 24-pack of Poland Spring, but I drink bottled water all the time. So
Okay.
whatever I'm getting, I'm using very quickly. But I have so much extra water anyways, and plus I can get out of the tap with my Brita.
Okay.
So
You do have a
and then
Brita?
also, yeah.
Okay.
And then also, bidets, $30 on Amazon.
Right.
Bye toilet paper.
Right.
So I've been actually thinking about that one. But yeah, I mean, overall, I think if people just kind of, get what they have to get and just get a little bit extra, at least for the next couple weeks or month or so, they can build a stockpile that can last them a couple of weeks, a couple of months, if something takes a turn for the worse.
Right.
And then that way, it's going to be okay for everybody and not just a run on, a canned green beans or canned vegetables altogether or anything else out there.
Okay. That's a
And
good
then
point.
And then worst comes to worst, I'll just bag it deer in my backyard.
Oh, you have deer?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I have woods in my backyard, and we probably got about a nice little pack of about 6 deer that go by probably pretty much daily.
All right, cool.
Hmm. So that's worst comes to worst. But I don't think it's going to get anywhere near that. I think, there were a couple of things where people were talking, and I don't know if this is true or not, so don't quote me. But I was hearing that people who had it were talking and said it's no worse than like a sore throat, or it's no worse than this or that. And yeah, that's a mild case, so hopefully the severity stays limited to a very few amount of people, if any. And like I said, I hope it doesn't morph into something that could be a real problem.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Well, I've seen both sides of the spectrum where Corona was really bad, or just for 6 weeks, but only time can tell, and only, of course, if you get it, you can tell. But there's also doctors that work at major hospitals that have said they've not seen one case. So I mean, what are you going to do?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all unknown right now.
Right.
And that's I think the biggest problem is that because it's so unknown, they don't know how to deal with things, or it's such an overreach because it could be the next big thing. But if it's not really anything, then is it worth it that they did it or not? Because, I mean, think of how many trillions of dollars have been lost. I know I took a huge hit financially in the stock market the last few weeks. And I can only imagine people who have more money in there than I do, how much they've lost. So it's
right.
Yeah, all the hype is really causing certain issues, not just people who are going to get affected or quarantined or anything like that. The reach is so much further than that now.
Yeah. Well, that's so true. Um, Well, I appreciate your input. I do have to go get Chris, not you, but my Chris. But I do appreciate your input. It's good to hear from everybody around the country and what's going on in their city, because I feel like that's really important. Because as we sit in our own cities, we look and see what's going on, and we don't realize what may be going on for everybody else. L.A., San Francisco, Seattle. So we've had a lot of good callers from around the country, giving their input on what they're seeing. Even in cases like Buffalo or Syracuse or Seattle. I mean, Omer, he called in earlier. He works at the Seattle airport, and he says it's just crazy. Everyone's just going nuts. And, we have all these ports of entries, and we have all these political campaigns going on about, how we're going to do this and how we're going to do that. And we as Americans need to know what's going on in everybody's city, not just our own.
Yeah, right.
Because what happens in your city could come to me or vice versa. We need to know.
Yeah, because everybody's connected in this day.
Right. We're all connected. So, well, I appreciate you taking your time out to call us and give us your input. It was valuable input, and I hope you stay safe out there, and, of course, get your money while you can.
Oh, yeah.
And wipe that car down, man. Wipe that car down.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, it was good talking to you, and look forward to seeing some more the different updates that we'll all have.
We will do just that.
All right. Have a good night.
You too. Thank you. All right, guys. So we are going to go ahead and terminate this now, because it's time to go get Chris. But guys, we've had a lot of great input. Everyone has been super helpful. It's just great that you guys took the time out to call me and let me know what's going on in your city. And we're going to keep updating everybody on this and doing what we can. And, as far as I can say right now, just stay safe and, do what you got to do. All right, guys? So have a good night. Keep watching the news. Stay informed. Stay woke. And definitely stay sane. Have a good night.
Bullshit, I can't hear you. Sound off like you got a pair.